right.
Was that a fly?
Okay.
I joked. Come on.
Okay.
All right. Oh.
Check. Wild Ride episode number.
What are we up to? Like 116?
Do you remember what he was the last one?
I don't.
100, I think.
No.
No, it's 50.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Danger Ehren,
Hello, everybody.
the return. So we've got you
Yep.
on tour.
Yep, we're here in, where are we? We're
Wheeling, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yep.
And last night was your first time performing comedy on stage in 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't done a stand-up show or anything live performance, I don't think, in about 2 years. Yeah.
Right. And you prepared all new material.
Some new, mostly all new material. It's based on, a lot of the stuff from Jackass Forever. I brought some props with me, and
Crazy. Yeah, it was awesome.
The people really loved it. It was awesome.
And you so professionally set your timer to 12 minutes, which
12
was
minutes.
what your plan was, to perform for 12 minutes.
Yep, well, that's what I was asked to do, and that's what I'll do.
And you went out there and it seemed that every joke you wrote, everywhere you were looking for a laugh, you got a laugh.
I think so.
And the crowd loved you. They ate it up.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I got to say, I have so much fun being on tour and bringing in my Jackass buddies kind of one at a time to just hang out, do podcasts, like film content, like do shows. And I think that the way you prepared your material, the way you executed it so professionally, I think that as Jackass openers go, you might have slipped right into fucking El Numero Uno.
Uh-oh. Oh. Looks like the boys need to come back.
I think
Step it up.
I think Jackass might have the best actual joke. Just the one joke where he says, so I got into therapy and I was looking at these apps and, I found one called BetterHelp and I thought, well, shit, this BetterHelp or I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Oh, Jesus.
Such a fucking good joke.
Oh, man. He's doing great.
He's really giving it a
So how is it out here for you? How's it been? Like, what's going on? I mean, I just got here yesterday. I'm here for 6 shows, 5 days, whatever we're doing.
I mean, dude,
But you're out here grinding.
We go pretty hard, but we only go for spurts. We'll be out for like 10 days, and then we go home, and then we go out for 10 days, and then we go home. So, like, it's not like we're on tour for months or anything like that. But with that said, man, like, we're getting after it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how the show constantly evolves and improves. Like
I saw it like 3 months ago in Portland, I think it was, and you've definitely added a lot of material, like the intro and stuff. That was awesome.
Dude, the opening sequence, man. I'd love to get a final tally on what we spent on the opening sequence for the bucket list, because it was expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Helicopters and fucking.
Well, we still have another shoot coming up on the 20th.
Yeah, we have another
epic.
helicopter shoot coming up for the
What?
opening
Yeah,
sequence.
it's gonna be epic, dude.
Damn. Sounds gnarly. We don't even use helicopters in Jackass. I don't think we've used the fake little ones. But I don't think we've ever used a helicopter, have we?
I remember, dude, we used to use helicopters in wildboyz all the time. But now, speaking of Jackass, you're hands down the MVP of Jackass Forever. I don't think there's any debating that.
Well, thanks. I mean,
like that. Anybody who's seen that movie is like, oh my God, Danger Ehren and the cup test and what you did to his balls.
Yeah.
David?
Well, when we went into filming, I told the guys, I said, hey, I can't break my neck again because I've done that 3 times. And so I was thinking about other ways to, use my body. And since when COVID happened, we could no longer do man on the street stuff. I had tons of rad stuff written for like pranks and man on the streets, and all those just went away instantly when COVID hit. So we just focused on ourselves, destroying ourselves.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm not gonna break my neck. And actually about 3 weeks, oh yeah, good call. Crack a little liquid death. Refreshing. Sticks. Hey, Sticks. How you doing out there, Sticks? One of my homies. And so we just focused on like destroying ourselves. And I'm like, I can't destroy my neck or my knees. I've had 11 knee surgeries. So at the time, I was like, well, I was thinking, I guess, we'll just focus on my dick. And come to find out, so like 3 weeks before Francis Ngannou punched me in the balls in the
which
cup,
was test number one.
Which was test number one. I had already found out that I was Lindsay and I were pregnant. We were having a child.
And you kept that a secret.
I kept that a secret the whole time we were filming, because if everyone knows I'm going to have a baby already and I'm already sending it hard on my dick, they're going to just be like, well, let's just rip it off.
Right.
Because you've already used it in a sense, but
I don't think
I couldn't have done any gnarlier though.
I don't think that would have changed the outcome. I don't think that sensitivity to your ability to procreate was really in the equation. But dude, I remember showing up to the set probably the first week after we got back from COVID, if not like the first day.
Yeah.
And I'm a humongous fan of UFC, and they're like, dude, Francis Ngannou, the fucking UFC heavyweight. At the time, he was the #1 contender. Now, of course, he's the champion. He's gonna punch Danger Ehren in the balls for the cup test. And I, as soon as I heard that, I said, please let me have this bit. Please let Francis Ngannou punch me in the balls. Oh my God, what an honor! That would be so rad. And they said no.
You want it too much.
Well, right. That dude. Whenever you want something, you never get it.
I hate ice cream. Let's give him ice cream. I love bee stings. We don't need to sting him with any bees.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, let me ask you a question.
They said that you had your neck issue.
Yeah.
They said you had your neck issue. They said Knoxville had just had a hernia surgery.
Yeah, he wasn't
something,
doing
so
it.
he couldn't get hit like that in the nether regions. And they just shut me down. They're like, no. And then as I came to learn that it was Francis Ngannou, and then it was with the bowling.
Okay, so let me ask you.
And I'm so glad I didn't fucking.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask. Okay, so my question to you is, okay, the Francis Ngannou bit happens. Would you have wished you did that if it had led into all the other things I did?
No. I'm so, like I said, I'm so glad I did not fucking do that.
Oh my God.
Well, can I ask a question? How many times did they attempt each bit?
Francis' punch was 3 times. The first time I flinched a little. Second time I think he just held back and punched me kind of in the stomach. And on the third one was the nail. But the softball test was I think 14 times. And my legs
yeah.
were...
They used a lot of that. There's so many times when things are shot over and over and over and over and over, and they only use one time, and that's such the heartbreaking.
I know, it's like when I did
the hockey.
The hockey. Okay,
the hockey,
so
I think they used just about everything.
The hockey was so I went from Francis to the softball 14 times, blasted me, looked like a cheetah print, and then immediately after that, an hour later. Because I told Jeff, I'm
Pogo stick and softball were the same day.
Yeah,
right?
and because I was in so much pain, so gnarly.
And you were like,
I'm like, I don't want to sleep on it and do it tomorrow. Let's just do it now. And they were like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Get Dave. Let's use that pogo stick. Let's go right over there and have him just jump on my dick. And
I know. Yeah, Dave
we did that
twice.
The first time. He missed the cup not been as big as it was. I mean, it was soft though, but it was much bigger, like surface area. Had he not hit the cup and it went into my skin, I think it possibly could have went through my body. Because if you think about the energy of a pogo stick, it springs off of whatever it lands on. So it would have just compressed right through my skin, right through my body.
So are you sitting there with one ball right now, or did you?
No, when he did land it on the cup, right on my nut, it was on the right testicle, and it exploded the right testicle. So then it was bleeding, and I had to rush to the hospital. And then when I was there, I went and saw a specialist later on, 2 or 3 days later, and then I had to do follow-up visits every month for about 4 months just to have him checked to make sure that the testicle itself was healed, because if blood gets into the testicle, it kills all the sperm. But I was already having a kid, so Cedar, little Cedar Moon.
So you're done having kids, I'm guessing at this point.
I'm cool. I'm sure I could have more. Dave only has one nut. Dave has 4 kids.
Did they test your sperm count after all that when you're going to the doctor for all that?
No testing of sperm counts. I'm just, fingers crossed. I don't want to know.
Yeah. So I remember while we were filming Jackass Forever, and you were just getting all of this insane footage left and right, and I'm thinking, oh my God, dude, Danger's kind of gone under the radar like in life, you know, and now like you're gonna be like so much more recognizable in the streets. Has that happened?
It has. I mean, it's kind of always been there, and you know, like even with like the terror taxi, you know, like this terror taxi bit, like those kinds of things, people always know kind of who I am and whatever. But I don't do a lot of things like putting me out into the public a lot. Like I'm at home and doing my thing and working on my life and touring with bands, shooting photos. And when I'm out, people are like, especially now, people are like, "Fuck, we love you, dude," and it's really cool. It's cool. You know, I think there's obviously strike while the iron's hot opportunity when we put out a new film or new movie or something. But I have a 1-year-old, and I'm way more stoked on what I'm doing right now than anything. I don't regret or wish I was doing anything else. I'm raising a rad little baby, and we have a nice little family, and I'll get back to it someday.
And you're married?
Not married.
Not married.
I mean, with COVID and stuff, like if we were gonna get married during COVID, it would have been just kind of lame, you know, like no party, like. So we're just waiting, just kind of. She's going through nursing school at OHSU, and she's done with that in like 9 months.
How's your relationship?
It's great, but it's very up and down. Like, I swear to God, like, I know a lot of people that have gotten divorced or broken up during COVID.
Sure.
Like, people have their own lives and separate, like, you know, they need to separate a bit. But with COVID, everyone's in the house all day long, 24/7.
Right.
And what would normally be like a 2-year relationship, I think is more of like a 5-year experience with that person. And it's made it a lot, you know, very intense. And
COVID put relationships to the test.
To the test.
And I was stoked that I felt pretty strongly that my relationship with Lux just got better.
And that happens too, because then you realize how much you really like being with this person. And even if you don't like being with this necessarily person all the time, it's the trust and love that you have. And then that bond and that bubble that you're in becomes like just so safe and makes you feel good, you know?
Yeah, I don't remember any like problem from COVID. Crazy.
Well, you're
besides COVID.
Yeah, you're in a minority there, my friend. Because I can tell you, like most people, they say to me, like, "Oh my God, I had no idea they were like this, and we're together all the time." And
right.
Yeah, but Lux is cool with you, like camping for a week, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're on the road all the time, dude. So
dude, it worked out so great because I got the van for podcasting. You know, the red van. I got that like right before COVID hit.
Yeah, so you were just cruising.
So when COVID hit, I was sheltering in place, like on the fucking
in Malibu,
countryside,
on the beach
like,
in Malibu.
Fucking, you know, everywhere. I was sheltering in place, fucking all over. Yeah, man. So we talked about it when you were on the podcast the first time, which, by the way, I think was just an epic episode.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is we're in the RV now, which is quite a bit bigger. It expands out. There's some more room. It's nice.
Yeah, the piece of shit RV masquerading as a tour bus.
Yeah.
And you know, we were talking about how I really feel that you're like, you know, of the Jackass guys, like arguably the most well-adjusted, like the most like real world, like, you know, you don't really identify as like a celebrity guy. Your livelihood comes from real estate. You've taken all of your money and like wisely invested it in properties, and you manage all these properties and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's like any like entertainer, athlete, or anything where you make some money, and people know who you are, and when you know it's awesome. But eventually, nothing lasts forever, and you really got to just take that opportunity to do the best you can with it for your future, because life is long, even though it's short.
Dude, you know? Life is fucking long, dude.
It's like, I rule right now, but 2 or 3 years from now, and you're not ruling, and no one's paying you anything. What do you have left? And you just got to be thinking about, like, you know, goals in life, or where you want to be 5, 10 years from now, and actually visualize it. Like, don't just stumble around and be like, whatever happens to me. No, make things happen. Like, you got to work hard too. Like, you work your ass off, but you're doing it because you enjoy doing this. And,
I mean, I love it, and I think you just shared the best life advice. You know, you have to have a goal if you're going to accomplish a goal.
Yeah.
If you don't set a goal for yourself, then you're never going to do anything.
Yeah, and goals do change, and you can allow your goals to change, and don't say that you didn't succeed because you didn't reach the goal that you had. Just be realistic. Like, you know, somebody could say, I want a Ferrari, and then you get a Toyota. But you know, your goal then is now you've got a Toyota, and you should be happy with that. You know,
Lux's nephew, who I like to call my nephew.
Yeah.
Is now living with us, taking care of all of our animals at the house, even when we are home. So there's just always like, and
a caretaker.
Yeah, a caretaker, and it's great because we love having him around. And I told this kid, he's what, 19. I said, like, man, we're gonna pay you every day to take care of our animals, whether we're home or not. I just don't want to have to worry about about anything. And I was like, I'm gonna give you my car, so you got a free car. You know, like you're taking care of the animals is like a half hour of work a day. You know, an hour maybe on an aberrational day. So you've got your whole fucking day wide open to pursue your goals, and we want to help open up the world to you, you know, like, so my advice, I told him, I said, figure out your highest goal, your most crazy ambition, what you would love more than anything in life, in a dream world, the best it could turn out. And once you've identified that as something you want to work towards, then kind of walk it back and figure out what's a good entry-level job that you can realistically get, which puts you the closest to that ultimate dream goal. It lands you kind of at the periphery of that world. Get on the bottom rung of the ladder that leads up to that fucking dream position that you want, and start fucking getting after it. And if we can help you get on that bottom rung, we want to, like, you know.
Yeah.
And this kid. The kid's just so stoked, and he's such a rad kid too.
That's the reality of life, though. That it being long is that. Yeah. I mean, I suffer from this as well. Like, I want to learn. I want to know how to do it now. Like, a lot of times, I want to be able. I want to be the best now. But it takes like years to be good at something, let alone the best at something.
Yeah. Well, if you're planting seeds, you can't expect it to be fruitful.
But people do. And especially now today in society where, like, you can strike it rich as a YouTuber or something, and it's like, and then all these other people are like, I want to do that too, and it's like, well, that's like, you know, some sort of panning for gold, and you got gold, and the dude who got the gold isn't any better than the person who happened to find the gold down.
I don't know, dude. I think that YouTube, the whole like digital influencer space, like that, it's so democratic. You know, like,
well, if you're cool, you're cool, and if you're not,
every piece of content you put out is essentially like a fucking vote for like how well received it is. It's the analytics are just so fucking accurate and democratic that, like, I really think you got to give credit to people who succeed with YouTube, because they're getting something right, and there's no succeeding on YouTube unless you are tirelessly fucking motivated and work your ass off.
But that's the thing, is like, people see those people doing these things, think it's so easy, and it's not. It's
now there's like Twitch, there's OnlyFans, there's people fucking putting their feet on websites, crushing it like six figures. There's a lot of opportunity out there, you know?
Right.
But what I like about you is that you got more specific with your goals in the last like 3 months. Is like, you want to open an animal sanctuary, but now you want to employ hundreds of people rescuing thousands of animals. And I think as like you get more specific,
how do you start that?
But my ultimate goal is to employ hundreds of people to take care of thousands of animals, and my first like legit employee whose only job is to take care of animals is this nephew.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. So you're starting at the bottom there too. Then that's your first step to what you have goals and dreams to do.
You have one employee and you've rescued 6 animals.
Oh my God, dude, we technically have 10 animals at the house. Even though during the show I say we have 3 cats, 3 dogs, 3 goats, and 4 pissed off neighbors.
Wait, you have those? You have goats in your house in Hollywood? There,
not inside the house. We have we built. We built a little barn in the back.
Where's there even room for a little barn in the back?
We predator-proofed the fuck out of our backyard because we don't want like predators climbing.
Oh yeah, you live in the hills there, and those I was there that one day.
And when my cat got killed,
eaten by a coyote.
Oh, right, Jesus. I know. So what we did to prevent predators from digging underneath the fence, we built a fucking 4.5-foot concrete wall underground around the entire fucking perimeter of the backyard. And then we built up the fences with crazy spikes, so nothing's coming over either.
Yep. You got goals. You got goals, dude.
Predator proofed the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And we built a barn, so we put the goats up in the barn at night, and they just hang out in the backyard during the day.
The neighbors really like their bums.
I mean, the goats go like
all night,
kind of. But it's a cute sound. It's
cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute sound. And it's not too gnarly. What's gnarly is the dogs, particularly one dog, just rap, rap, rap.
All night.
He gets stuck outside and he can't move, and he's like, just like staring off into the moon.
On a fucking loop, endlessly, incessantly.
Oh, wow.
And there's this one neighbor in particular that like is and the nicest guy, nicest couple, but they're just like, for the love of God, please, you know. And then, dude, and then I realized long after the fact that this guy, I didn't recognize him because his fucking beard like grown out so big, like, you know, he's hands down my favorite circus performer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's in the circus?
I don't want to give away his identity, but
you live next to it.
If you ask me the last 20 plus years, if I have one person in mind who's the most talented circus performer period, I would say this guy.
Wow.
And then it turns out
you didn't know that he was your neighbor this whole time?
I had no idea he's my neighbor, and he's the one guy who's most terrorized by our fucking animals.
Oh God, he hates you.
He
probably loves you.
He's down for me. And he said himself, he's like, I get it. You know, you love animals. You care about animals. You know, it's just like, fuck.
It's crazy. You have a favorite circus performer.
Like, dude, 100%. Dude, Isaac, who's my guy on tour. He helps on tour. I gave him the whole fucking walked him through.
Don't give it away because
the best footage of this guy. He's like, dude, his fucking head exploded, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about. He's like, oh my God.
Wow.
I love it, dude. Yeah, I go crazy for that shit. Now,
I got Bugsy.
Yeah,
he's a well-behaved dog.
Yeah,
dude, he just finds his way like right in your arm.
Yeah, he sleeps in my arm, all under my arm.
Cutest shit I've ever seen.
He goes everywhere with me, all over the world.
Yeah,
Danger
dude.
Bugsy.
So how many real estate properties are you said 9?
No, I just acquired 2 more in the last 3 months, so I've 7. 7. Sold 1, bought 2.
And most of these are on mortgage.
Yeah, a couple are paid off.
Okay.
But most of them are on mortgage, especially the last 3 years. Even if they weren't on mortgage, I went and got loans for them because money was so cheap, 2.5% or 3% rates.
Right.
So everything's locked down, 30-year fixed. We'll see what happens. The market's probably like it did in 2008 go down, but if you're not selling, then what's it worth? It's not worth any less than it was before.
Right.
So you just hold on. Long term, long game is 30-year plan. I've got a plan for every single one of them, like how to sell them, when to sell them. Depending on how I'm doing in this business and whatnot. Like when you're crushing it in Hollywood and you're making money, you don't want to sell your real estate because then you have to pay more in taxes than you already do. So
generally, the rule with real estate is just never sell.
Yeah,
right?
Ultimately, put it in a trust, give it to the family, peace.
What was your situation in 2008? When
in 2008, I had 5 properties.
Damn, and that was what you did with your money from
Jackass 1 and 2.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's great.
When did 3 come out?
3
no, that was
came
10.
out in 2010.
So yeah, so from 1 and 2, I had 5 properties. You can buy one and you can leverage off of that if you have good credit and whatever else. And but then the market tanked and everyone was like freaking out. Like people were like offing themselves and it was a very stressful time. But
Scott fucking got his ass kicked.
You sold?
I pulled out the down payment on a credit card and then bought it in 2006, and then a week later it dropped like 60 grand. I just let it go after 3 years.
Yeah, I mean at a certain point,
dude, Scott for the first how many years we worked together was like battling his way out of debt.
3 or 4 years.
But so many people were. I mean, that's the thing is like, if it happens again, there's going to be another so many people, and
but we don't really gnarlier.
I don't think it'll be gnarlier. I think it's going to be different. I think everything affects everything. So like if you have if oil prices go up, then food prices go up, then everything goes up, and inflation hits because we give away a bunch of free money and don't and then now people are used to not working and not doing anything and getting this money, and then the money's disappearing, but they're like, I still don't want to go back to work. And inflation's going up. So
I think everything that you're describing indicates that it's going to be gnarlier when the shit hits the fan this next time.
It's a worldwide phenomenon on this one. The one before was based on bad credit, which was given to people that didn't have
subprime mortgages.
Yeah, it was like stated income loans made it so that people could just buy a house.
I bought a house with a 520 credit score
and time. Stated income, and you just probably said,
on a credit card. The guy's like, do you have any credit lines? And I was like, no. He's like, can you go to like Men's Warehouse and buy some socks on credit, and then I can like get you a line? I'm like, yeah. I did that. He's like, cool, got you the loan.
Yeah.
7% interest only.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you got any weed?
Yeah. He was like chewing in my ear on the phone.
You want to buy a car too? I got a car for sale.
Yeah, that was a different time.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to be the same thing? Like, what do you think is going to crash first if it hasn't already?
I think that because
auto
interest
loans
rates,
are gnarly,
auto
right?
loans, auto prices are up higher than they've ever been in the history of new cars. New cars
because
themselves.
of
supply chain, and inflation. Like everything's more like. Contractors, if you hired a contractor that was $65 an hour 3 years ago, he's $125 now. And the materials that they're using, like the wood and metal and everything, that's tripled. So that means that home prices go up because it costs more.
Right.
But
and
then
we were up in Portland, Oregon, on Seaside, Oregon. And you were like
he doesn't like talking about
on the Oregon coast.
you were like with your own bare hands, like fucking you're like a contractor too.
Yeah, I do most of my own construction on my own properties with licensed contractors and stuff when needed, but for the most part, like I've learned how to do most of my own contracting.
And what you did with your main house in Portland was unbelievable.
Yeah, I did landscaping,
that deck,
everything, the deck. It's a lot of work, and that's the thing. Like I always think back to when people like from Goonies. Remember Chunk? And everyone's like,
sure.
What happened to Chunk?
He's an entertainment lawyer.
He's an entertainment lawyer. He's killing it more than he would have probably had he stayed in the Hollywood business in the sense of acting. And people think he died. You're like, oh, that guy died. He had to because he was killing it, and then he disappeared. But you disappeared from Hollywood, and the entertainment industry doesn't mean you died. You can have a life, and there's like normal people like doing real lives that have been in movies before. And
how many people are you a landlord to?
I have a couple of vacation rental houses, so those constantly are being.
That's not so bad. Like I think of landlord, and I'm like, fuck, man. I would never be able to
I don't want to
evict somebody. I couldn't do it. Dude.
Here's one thing I've always bought my real estate on, based the premise of, and that is, would I want to live here? So if the market tanked, I lost everything. If this was a place that I had to live and could afford it, would I want to live here? And if I say no, then why would I want to buy it? You can buy it to make money, and some people approach the real estate game as just monopoly. Let's make money, money, money. But I do it in a different way, where I really have a connection to Oregon. I'm from there, 4th generation. Like, I love it so much. I want to be able to invest as much into the place I love most. And I've had opportunities to buy other places and make money, but I just didn't, because I didn't want to live there if I had to. So I just buy places where if I need to live there or move there or want to own it for the rest of my life, or and pass it down to my daughter or something, I think it's, that's the way I buy stuff. I do it ultimately in the end. I don't want to lose money, but I'm doing it more for multiple reasons. There's tax implications, all these things. There's so many good benefits to owning real estate. It is tough because when you're doing real estate in the moment, like a toilet's broken, you got to fix it. Like with the stock market, when it goes down, you just don't look at it. You just avoid it. When it comes back up, you're like, yeah, I'm winning. And then when you're losing, but when a toilet breaks, you can't be like, I'm just going to ignore it, because then there's shit flying all over the place, and then that causes your floors to rot, and then next thing you know, your foundation's broken. And it's so real estate is a constant hands-on game.
Right.
And that takes a lot of time, and it takes away from the time that would be spent doing more entertaining and whatnot. But that's why I'm stoked to be out here for a week, because it's fun to get out and challenge myself. Like I was literally like, I don't know.
I think you guys were doing like 5 of you with like Pontius and Preston and Dave and you and Wee-Man. Like you had like a couple tours.
Yeah, we did a Canada tour.
Right now would be the best time for you guys to do that again. Like I got all you guys coming out with me, like working on your acts.
Yeah, Dave came out with you. I think I talked to Wee-Man. He said he's gonna try to come out with you this fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Preston.
I mean, you guys each have like 15 minutes at least. Yeah. Like there's an hour and 20 minute show.
And dude, like at the end of my shows, I say, hey, now that the show's over, if I can get everyone pull out your phone and take a photo, so that they've got something to post.
Yeah.
And like when I've got one of you guys, it's just really rad, like to see the feedback. Man, we went to the Steveo show. It was great, and fucking Danger was the surprise guest. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that must be rad for you too. Like I'm here for a week. Dave was here for a week.
Yeah.
Preston's here for a week.
Preston was with us for a long time. Preston started out as our driver.
Yeah, dude, he told me he was driving.
Was that a fucking
all
disaster.
Night, and then do a set.
The first 30 seconds of him driving, he broke the trailer coming out of a dip.
No. The first 30 seconds, like that was when we were actually getting on the road to go to tour. Like we tried to bring the fucking bus to go to a shop to get the dude fucking he's doing errors. It's like he's trying to fucking jump the thing.
Really?
He's trying to turn it like it's a Mazda
like a semi-truck, because he's a semi-truck driver. So
it's rad. I love having you guys come out.
Yeah.
Now I remember when we were doing shows together, like because I kind of started that thing. When you would be performing, you would say about how you had stopped drinking.
Yeah.
And you would drink O'Doul's all the time.
Yeah. So I haven't drank alcohol. I started drinking wine again about 2 years ago.
That's alcohol.
It is. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's grapes. It's grapes, sober. Dude. It's grapes. You're wrong. It's grapes. It's fermented
California
grapes.
Sober.
It's fermented grapes.
Colombian
That's not alcohol.
sober. I only do Coke.
Colombia sober.
Colombian sober.
No, I drink wine, but I haven't drank.
What's
Napa Valley sober.
I'm Sonoma sober.
Paso Robles.
What's crystal meth maintenance?
Yeah,
fucking New Mexico sober.
Riverside sober.
Oh man, you can come up with these all day long. No, but I haven't drank beer in 9 years or 8 years. I haven't had any like whiskey or any grain alcohol.
What was it that made you stop drinking in the first place?
So I stopped drinking altogether, everything, for 6 years.
Because you had an issue with alcohol?
Well, here's the thing: is doing like what we've done for so long. Like we got paid to party. We drank every day. It was a part of what we did. And then I got to the point where when I stopped, I actually just basically had a like I would say like some sort of like mental breakdown where I lost my mind. Like I think something snapped.
I think I remember, and you were telling me I have a problem with alcohol.
Well, it wasn't a problem with alcohol. It was I was what you could consider a functioning alcoholic. I'd be on tour with bands, shooting photos and doing my thing, and I could have like five to 10 Jack and Cokes every night. 10 Jack and Cokes every night. Whatever, no big deal. And I would perform. I could do my stuff. But every day I woke up and I'd had this like just dehydrated feeling, and my body was, all
the voices in your head were cranked up.
I got to the point where it was Groundhog's Day, and I felt no hope for no way out, and I literally lost it. Where I took myself to the emergency room, and I said because I something in my brain kind of just like had enough, and I went like a little psychosis, and then. They wanted to help me there and put me in a place where they're like a sane asylum, I guess it would be considered. And I said, no, I'm going to take care of this myself. And that day, I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking it altogether. I hadn't drank since that time for 6 years, and it was to the point at which I really don't think I could have survived if I didn't, because I was so depressed, because I just felt so hopeless, so no way out. Today, you know, when you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so hungover, I'm never drinking again. And then that night you're drinking again, and then I'm so hungover. And when you get in that cycle with whatever it is you're doing, and there's just that idea of nothing's gonna change and there's no hope, you literally, like, I snapped, I lost it, and that is what cured me, is that I realized that the only person that will do this, the only person that can fix this is me. Like, and there's people that can help along the way for sure. I believe that, but it comes down to you. You're with yourself 24/7. You know what you dream. You know what your visions are, your goals. You know when you're doing wrong. And if every morning you wake up thinking, I did it again, it just doesn't give you a chance to have a good day.
I mean, I think that the definition of alcoholism is when you are genuinely powerless to stop. And, you know, it sounds like you were a problem drinker and you found a real reason to stop or moderate, and you were able to do so, and that's great.
Yeah.
Like there's like a level of alcoholism where no amount of willpower can ever help you.
But the thing that's so weird is that I wasn't a problem drinker, and that's I think the worst alcoholic or person who drinks alcohol or does any kind of drugs or anything, the substances, are those that can function with it for no problem.
Oh my God, absolutely.
High bottom drunk.
Because
no. I mean, here's the thing.
It just will never stop.
I was the luckiest.
Because you were just a dirtbag.
because for me, it was so goddamn bad that it had to stop. And because it had to stop, I surrendered to the process of recovery and got better.
Yeah.
And when you surrender to the process of recovery, like when you treat alcoholism, you somehow become a better version of yourself than you were before you suffered from it.
Yeah.
And the worst situation is when you have alcoholism/addiction, but not so bad, because if it's not so bad, it doesn't absolutely have to stop.
Yeah.
And it never does stop. And the years slip through your fingers.
You're 80 and you're dead.
The years turn into decades slipping through your fingers, and then you turn around and you're like, what the fuck did I do with my life? I blew it.
Yeah.
Have you ever done so many psychedelics you thought you never coming back?
I can tell you, bro,
Maybe.
it took you years to come back.
Yeah, okay.
You weren't you now who you are or before for 4 years, dude. Probably after when you finally went to sober living and rehab and. I mean, dude, how many times? Do you remember going to India and we're sitting next to each other on the plane, and I was telling you this? I'm like, bro, you're a good dude. Like, you have so much. You're blowing it. You don't even know your name right now, and you're fuck yeah, man. But then when you got to that point at which you got the help and you went through the process, you still for like 3 or 4 years were still kind of like this in between guy. It was like
check this out. When like I was in treatment, I was like rehabs and psych wards for 6 months.
Okay.
And when I got at the end of that 6 months, I moved into a sober living.
Yeah.
Right. So once I got out of the 6 months and into the sober living, then I was sort of free to go around. And I went and spoke at the Salvation Army, where all these people, the most low bottom, like alcoholics and addicts, are in rehab, which is free, and it's just like the most like kind of dingiest place where you can get better. It's just the low bottom people, and I'm there like carrying the message, telling my story of recovery, 6 months sober, and I thought it was fine. And then 3 months later, now I'm 9 months sober. I go back, and some of the guys are still there. They're like, dude, Steve-O, man, we were here when you were here, like, we were worried about you.
Yeah, they were worried about you.
Sober, talking.
Dude, if you could have seen yourself, bro, I'm
dude,
telling you, for quite some time, you were lower than those dudes that you're saying are low. Like,
for sure.
Like you were, like
what? Do you have an
had
example?
money, just not even human. Like I don't even like I don't know.
Well, like Steve, what was the first thing you bought with like your money? He's like, oh, dude, like a refrigerator full of vodka and Budweiser.
It wasn't the first thing, but
I bought a house and you bought a fridge with Budweiser.
It was actually pretty shortly before I got sober. One of the last things I bought was a fucking huge full tall size fridge that had the left side was like freezer from top to bottom, one door. You know, there's equal space for the freezer.
So you had
as there
vodka
was.
and beer.
So the freezer was full. You couldn't fit another bottle of vodka into it from top to bottom. And then the right side was the fridge. And you couldn't fit another.
Was that in the
Budweiser
apartment,
in it.
the skate apartment?
That was in. Fuck,
Fountain, was it?
That was in my office apartment. I had the skate park apartment, the office apartment,
But it was in
the
that
bachelor
building.
pad,
Yeah.
and the assistant apartment.
What was
Damn.
your vodka of choice when you drank like that?
Shit, I think it was Grey Goose in there, the whole thing.
So Grey Goose and Budweiser.
Grey Goose and Budweiser, yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking dude.
I mean, see, but that that you can recognize as a problem, like, and that's like
Right.
when you hit rock bottom or multiple times hit rock bottom. It's like everyone around you now is like saying you have a problem, but when you're just floating through and everyone's like, "Oh, he's cool,
Right.
yeah, he's cool."
Like right now,
It's-
being sober, if you do something wrong, like you're bummed about it, you make it right
yeah,
later. But
super
like
bummed.
when you were fucked up, was there any of that like feeling bad, like fuck, I got to make it right with this person,
dude,
or was it
he
just
didn't
like
feel bad for anything. If anything, he felt better feeling bad. Like he would make people feel like shit and love it.
I don't know that I would love it. I don't know.
Oh,
that
you
I
were
would
pretty
love it.
stoked every time you did something fucked up. Like,
I think it was just
you
the
were
mask
like,
that he
yeah,
wore
I did
that-
it. Like,
I definitely became capable of being pretty mean spirited.
yeah.
And trying to hurt people's feelings and like harm their reputations. Like I did some fucked up shit, and ultimately that's what got me sober more than anything, was because I became so fucking ashamed of all that shit that I had done. I just like never wanted to be that person
Yeah.
again. And so that like motivated me to really dive into everything that people do.
But like what we're talking about right now, and you asked me like, how did I stop drinking when I
Yeah.
stopped? And yeah, I drink wine now, but I'm responsible and whatever.
Portland
else. But,
sober?
yeah, I'm Portland sober or Sonoma sober.
Can we get a shirt made that says Portland sober?
Yeah, with
Anybody
just a
out there?
wine glass. Cheers. But the thing is like every person, I don't care how down you are, how fucked up you are, you have that opportunity to make a choice. Every day, today, tomorrow, you do. Life's not over. You have that choice, dude. And if you start today, listen, you know it's real. If you start today and live for the future and just don't live for what you didn't do in the past or what you've been doing, and you just start over. Like today is my new life. I think it's possible that everybody can get better and clean up like whatever their problems they have.
I mean, like it doesn't really translate to alcoholism and drug addiction, because we've had millions upon millions of people come before us and show that like really there's only one way to treat that, and it's you can't do it alone. You got to do it as a collective, as a group.
But I stopped drinking cold turkey. I stopped drinking.
But then that just means that you are like, you know.
Not really. I think we all have that ability. I really do.
Well, everybody has an ability to turn their life around, and I think as fucked up as you are, that's the exact opposite is true of how fucking rad you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
sure.
usually the people that are the worst
Become the
turn to-
coolest.
yeah.
So when you're drinking your O'Douls,
Yeah.
like back in the day, every time I saw you get on stage like years ago,
Yeah.
you would carve the glass bottle with the diamond in your tooth.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Like it just puts a scratch in the bottle.
I mean, I can cut through a fucking wall of glass, dude. Like, I can actually cut through glass.
'Cause your
with
tooth
this.
is diamond?
It's got a black diamond in it, yeah. It's platinum. This is the tooth that I pulled out with Bam's Lamborghini. Broke my face to my eyeball. Took 6 months to heal, 9 months to heal. It would have kept going all the way up to my skull, but luckily my eye socket was there to stop it. So I put a black diamond in, and then my whole thought was that in case I ever get stuck in a glass cube somewhere, like you guys put me in something, I don't know, whatever. It's a tool. I can cut through glass. So yeah, I show everyone I can cut glass now.
How much is that tooth worth?
This is my rock bottom, dude. When I hit rock bottom, I'm coming. I'm gonna hawk this thing, and I'm coming back, baby.
What is it? It's an over $10,000 tooth.
No, I mean,
Is that-
but with all the
Inflation.
yeah, with inflation, it's
Yeah.
probably about 10.
Wow.
Is it in there with the dental implant?
Yeah, because it ripped my root all the way out and cracked my face, so they had to take somebody else's bone
Yeah, bone graft.
and bone graft it, and then
Dude.
put a post in there, and then put that, so it's attached into my face.
Is bone graft not the worst fucking surgery? Like,
the worst surgery is root canal. Like,
Oh,
ever
yeah?
had a root canal?
I've had tons of root canals.
I felt like that because root canals usually are infected by the time you get it, and then it's just like brutal.
Right.
But the bone graft did suck, and then you have to be very careful forever. You can't do anything crazy in your mouth, but.
So we talked about how you have had like 27 different surgeries.
Yeah.
What's your physical like state like right now? Like getting out of bed in the morning, like
for quite some time now, it's been very difficult to get out of bed. I've been working really hard with this chiropractor and a couple of different people in Oregon, up in Portland. And also myself just getting to the gym or, laying on some rollers.
Do you stretch?
I do stretch. I want to stretch more. I don't think you can ever overstretch. But stretching, like with injuries, you get scar tissue, and the scar tissue just basically makes it so your muscles can't work, and so you got to get all that inflammation out. And so I've been working really hard. But 11 knee surgeries, 3 broken necks. I mean, it's fucking real, dude. Arthritis and all of these things when you get older, and
I just had a birthday, and Lux got me a massage at like just some massage envy place.
Yeah.
And this dude was doing my massage, and he's like, man, like your muscles he's like, we're gonna need to not even bother with the massage right now, and I'm just gonna help you stretch.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I just have I just need to stretch is really what it is.
What about your neck though? You went and did.
Yeah, I did the stem cell
work?
thing.
Stem cell? Does it? Like I'm looking at doing it down in
Colombia.
Maybe down in Mexico at this place, a stem cell thing. I don't know, but I've heard mixed reviews.
I always say, man, like, 'cause people ask me so much that what I was doing was largely preemptive. I wasn't in like real pain. I don't have like range of motion problems.
Yeah.
Like I just have this degenerative disc disease, which poses a threat to me in the future. And so I was kind of preemptive. So I'm not a good like.
Yeah, like what did Danny say?
Danny Way fucking swears by it.
Cool.
Fucking Chuck Liddell. The guys who are in the worst shape are raving about.
That's the thing, is like I'm so far I like when I do things that help me, the person that's doing those things, like I'm a good gauge to be able to say, like, if it helps me, it'll help anybody.
I mean, dude, the place down in Colombia loves having people there who can draw attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you're a prime candidate.
Yeah, I'll have to get hold of them. Maybe go down to Colombia for multiple reasons. Huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I've never done coke in my life. Never once.
Right.
Really?
I've never even tried it. Not even one time in my life.
Man, did I ever offer it to you?
All the time.
I?
You wanted to snort coke off my butthole, I think, at one point.
Why didn't you ever accept it?
I just don't do coke. If he would have said I'll smoke, no, I'm kidding. But I did smoke weed out of his ass.
I wouldn't have. Like I've always been pretty good. Like I wouldn't, if someone doesn't smoke cigarettes, I wouldn't give them their first cigarette. Like I won't give anyone their first tattoo.
Yeah.
No way I would have wanted to give you your first line of coke.
No, I mean those were different times, man. I swear to God. Like we were all, everyone back then. God, it's hot. We were all just wild. Like
Yeah.
Now, like we've got younger the new crew of Jackass and
dude, this is gnarly.
They cannot do what we did back then, because what we did back then was us doing it. Now times are different, and you can't really. You can come in with us and hang out with us, but let's not try to recreate with the things that we used to do, because those things aren't doable anymore.
Right.
Like,
well, especially because like here we cut Bam loose because he was like still doing what we used to do.
Yeah.
And now like you can't bring in new guys to do that.
No. I mean, in the end, let's be real. Like this is a business, and we have characters in which we play.
Sure.
But outside of what we do on Jackass, it doesn't have to be like 24/7, 365. We're not. I'm not a jackass.
Yeah. It used to be like that though. And dude, is there anything scarier than the idea of being famous and broke?
No, like literally, probably the scariest thing.
It's gnarly.
Is to be and the only thing gnarlier than to be famous and broke is to be famous for a bad reason and broke, because then people hate you, and you can't get away from anybody because you're broke. So you're just basically out there, and everyone assumes the minute you become famous or on television that you're rich. I'm like, that's not real. Like, what's real is like bills have to be paid, and just because you were on TV or a show or a movie or something doesn't mean that you're rich. And
I think there are a lot of people who are famous and broke. Like it would like shock you.
Yeah,
you know. But
like, how could that person not be fucking killing it?
And it's just so weird because like with having the new guys on Jackass and you know the new girl, like you cannot fault Jackass for not giving them like tons of money, because the reality is people would line up around the entire fucking world to be in a Jackass movie for free. You know, like it's like you're handing them a humongous opportunity by inviting them to be a part of Jackass, and you really don't have to pay them a ton of money to do it. But on the flip side of that, when we get these new people in the Jackass movie, we've essentially put them on this huge platform, made them into legitimate celebrities, and now they're in this terrifying fucking position where they really are not financially secure.
But we weren't either.
Right.
Like, we were, you know.
That's 100% true.
We didn't get paid that great, you know, let's be honest. But, you know, we did what we did, and you look back now, like, you know, like you said, like, you know, Ehren, you have all this real estate. I'm like, well, I bought with the money I made on the first Jackass movie, which was like $65,000 or something.
And you got a loan.
I got a loan right
so
there.
You didn't buy it with Jackass money.
No.
Dude, you don't feel bad one bit. It's like, dude, you can make.
Dude, you could become a millionaire off of $10,000. Like, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. It's not money that's gonna get you there. Like, be creative. Like, it does help to have money, obviously, and people might say, well, you know, you had an opportunity, and like, plenty of people have opportunities and still blow it, and plenty of people don't have opportunity and make it. So
dude, I remember when we were filming the TV show, there was like, I was so
$400 a skit.
Dude, I got $400. I got $200 if it was a prank or like a gag, and $500 if it was like fucking life and limb.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, and then sometimes at the first season, it was that if it didn't air, you didn't get paid. And then after that, it changed. We all got paid.
Yeah, after that second season, it was per episode.
Yeah.
But dude, when we were filming that first season, I was so fucking broke, dead broke, because all my money, whenever I got money, I owed it to the cocaine dealer.
Oh god!
And so like,
wait, you had credit with the cocaine dealer?
Yeah, dude. I had credit, and whenever I got paid, I had to fucking buy the coke I already fucking did. But we're filming this. So we're going to like some bullshit fast food place to eat, or you know, and I'm like, hey, you know, like, can you guys fucking, you know, get me like a fucking Happy Meal or something?
Yes.
You know? And they said to me like, you didn't get any footage today.
Oh my god!
You didn't get any footage today.
Yeah, like, so you're not working.
I mean,
so
dude,
they'll get you soda water.
No, I mean, dude, we will not feed you because you didn't get any footage today.
Was this last week?
They're like, dude, maybe that'll motivate you to step up and fucking get some fucking footage tomorrow.
It's a rough business, dude.
It's
like
gnarly.
Hollywood or like this is a rough business.
You make such a valid point because we got paid nothing.
Yeah.
We were fucking big stars.
Yeah, instantly, just poof.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody that's making like a big chunk of change, especially all at once, you have the opportunity to invest it or do something to then further that money to and if you make a choice that you think is a good choice and it turns out being wrong, well, at least you thought it was a good idea, like legit, you thought it through, and it's like, you know, just sometimes Bitcoin goes down to $20,000. Yeah. Let's just be real.
Okay. I told Danger, I was like, man, I was just buying gold at 19.20 an ounce, and now it's like 17.04. And Deidre goes, "Well, at least you didn't buy Bitcoin at 60,000." But dude, let me tell you this crazy story.
Yeah.
I had Poopies on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was just like completely candid. He says, like, my bank account is a negative number.
Okay.
You know, I'm like beyond broke. Like, you know, and we had much the similar conversation. And it was uncontroversial. But then my buddy Bert Kreischer, huge comedian, he's got this huge podcast.
I want to go on his show. He said he was talking about me saying some stuff about the cup test and how he loved it.
I can set you up.
I'd love to say, Bert, if you're out there,
dude, I got you.
Steve-O's got me. All right,
I got you. So I'm buddies with Bert Kreischer, and he and Tom Segura, another huge comedian, they did this podcast together, Two Bears in One Cave.
Yep.
They just cold called me because they were raving about how much they loved the Jackass movie and the new guys.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
So they cold call me. I'm like, you know, like not just caught off guard. I'm like, oh yeah, and they're like, we love the new guys. And I was like, yeah, dude, who doesn't love the new guys? And get this, I just had Poopies on my podcast. He says he's completely fucking broke. Can't even put gas in his car, you know? And it was just like, whatever, you know, like I wasn't saying it in any kind of, you know, disparaging way or like trying to shame anybody. It's just like crazy because here he's this fucking movie star now.
But that's the reality of Hollywood. Like I was saying, it's like just because you made it on a show or something doesn't mean you're rich.
I didn't think anything of it. Then when that podcast came out, well, one of our buddies, and I won't like name him to, you know, they give him any grief, but I got this text from one of our buddies, not a cast member, but someone in our world. It says, what are you doing going on this big podcast and airing out people's financial things? He's like, well, it's just fucking tacky, and it's like, and I was, he's like, he says, we're at the point, you know, in our lives and our careers where we're supposed to be bringing people up, not pushing them down. And I was like, bro,
but you're not making fun of his situation. You're trying to like help him along, right?
Exactly.
But I mean, it is kind of like
my response was, dude, what I was like, I wasn't doing that at all. I wasn't trying to push anybody down. If anything, I was trying to like, you know, get his
story
there, you know, humanize him, help him, you know, like galvanize people in support of him, you know, and it was so crazy because. Then I hear from this guy, Steve will do, or no, I hear from Poopies himself. He goes, dude, Steve will do it reached out to me. This is so crazy. And I hit up Steve will do it saying, man, you hit up Poopies, dude, that was so cool. And Steve will do it says to me, dude, I heard you on Two Bears, One Cave, man, and like couldn't believe it. Poopies couldn't put gas in his car. He's like, I just want to do anything I can to help him. So fucking that is why Poopies was just water skiing behind a goddamn helicopter with Steve will do it. Who's like the biggest guy on fucking YouTube.
You know, I love knocking on the industry and saying you suck or help, or like let's be real.
You can't fault
but there's a lot of us, you know, and there's like, you know, in the day is 10 of us or whatever, and we're all the stars, like, and so with Jackass it's hard, but it's that way with the whole industry. It's like, how can I use you the most?
With the whole world, all the world's a business. Everybody's trying to fucking get over on everybody else. But not really.
There's other industries that people take care of each other and respect each other and love being able to see that other person succeed. Whereas in this industry, it feels like unless you're succeeding yourself, then it doesn't mean anything to you because everyone's very vain. Like everyone wants to be the number one in this industry.
For sure.
And so it's very hard to have like trust and care, like to trust other people and what they say. And you'll just do whatever like in that moment. Like it's, like look at us. We were doing it for $400 because we were on MTV and $400 was $400.
Right.
But looking back now, like we should have got paid a hell of a lot more. They syndicated that stuff day one. Like they've made hundreds of millions off of the TV show. Still cranking. Just try to, you know, think about life as a long game. Like don't think of life being tonight's ripping party. Just remember, try and get a plan. Come put it together, be a good person. It'll all work out in the end.
Dude.
And if it doesn't like work out the way you wanted it to or the way you dreamed it, just find new dreams, find new goals, and never give up and keep going, you know?
Dude, the fucking wiser words were never spoken, man.
Tight.
Fucking love you, dog.
Now let's go do some comedy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So there you have it. And I want to address this change in title format. For the longest time, we've been the number of the episode, the name of the guest. Boom. Just like that. But we noticed all these other podcasts giving the episode a title. And we said, screw it. Let's give it a shot. And when we were saying, what are we going to call the Danger Ehren second episode? The gorgeous Paul Brisske suggested, what about Danger Ehren Has No Pity for the new Jack? Now that is a catchy, salacious title. And clearly, that's what he said. He said, hey man, we were in the same spot, big whoop, right? So let's just be clear. It's not like anybody wants to be pitied. Fuck pity, right? And Danger Ehren and I both have a lot of love, right? We may not have pity, but we got a lot of love. Yeah, dude. Thanks for sticking around. People of the universe, I bring you Brandon Novak.
I'm fucking stoked to be here, boys.
Yeah, dude.
Good to see you.
It's been a minute.
People of the universe.
Yep.
You like saying that?
That's my new thing, man.
It's all inclusive.
I was asking the boys, how many people... What was the question I asked you guys? How many humanoids have there been since the beginning of time? Can you take a guess?
What's a humanoid?
Like a human. I don't know why I said humanoids.
Since the beginning of time, so...
Like humans, not like Neanderthal, like, I guess, like humans. I don't know why I said humanoids.
Okay.
So there's 8 billion right now, 7.8.
I think it...
I thought there was
Is it? No,
9.
there's
I thought
way
it was
more.
over, I thought there was
There's
over
9.
9.
Yeah, there's 9.
No, there's not 9 billion people. How many
No,
people
I think it was 7.8. I
Alright.
thought it was 8,
I
but
think
you...
it's more like 9.
Okay.
I'm with Steve-O.
Isaac, what are you
I was just-
sleeping?
What are you doing?
You want me to Google this?
Dad, what the hell do you think you're on the computer for?
How many
Jesus.
people are in the world today? 7.8.
7.8. Okay,
Oh.
boom.
So how many people?
I stand corrected. How many people
COVID did a
have there
number.
been? I mean, give me a time frame, dude.
Probably 200,000 years.
No. Well,
The last 200,000 years is probably when they discovered the first human skull.
okay,
Right?
how many people have there ever been?
Yeah. What's your guess?
Are we talking a trillion? No.
That's what I said.
That's a dumb shit Vinny said. I just kidding.
I mean, come on.
Isaac said 90 billion. Vinny said a trillion.
I will land in between.
It's like 500 billion.
I'm not going to go that high. I'm going to say in the last 200,000 years, there have been 175
Ooh.
billion.
What do you say?
Ooh, maybe that's a little high.
Oh.
I'm like strangely turned on right now with this conversation. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's one of those. You want me to just give it to you?
Yeah.
117 billion people.
Wow.
What did you
See, I would've
I
guessed
said
way more.
175, but that would mean that Isaac won. Right? Who's closer?
I was under. Scott was. I was under when I guessed 95, but Scott was over.
I said 120.
at a closer guess.
I said Scott got the closest.
Well, I was listening to a debate, and they're like debating this.
All right.
But I was just interested. Anyway, how are you?
This
Scott got the
conversation was way out
answer
of my
and then
realm.
guess.
I was thinking my math skills go as far as I used to be really good at 15s because I would buy $15 bags of heroin. So I could do 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. Once you got to the billions and they laughed at your trillion, I'm like, dude, I don't even really know what a fucking trillion is.
Wait a second. You did heroin?
No, dude, no.
Okay.
Did somebody say heroin?
What was your longest time that you spent in jail, Brandon?
A few months over a year.
A few months over a year?
That was
Yeah.
consecutive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
So at that point, I had made it. I had graduated to the penitentiary.
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
What? Because
that's-
after, if you get a year or more, you don't go to county. You go to the.
Yeah.
county jail is by definition for under a year.
Yep.
Over a year, by definition, is prison.
What was your longest?
10 days.
10 days.
Oof.
Vinny?
6 months.
Jesus.
Okay, so when you went down for this penitentiary bid.
Yeah.
You were aware that you were going. You had to surrender yourself. You knew that you were going.
No.
But you didn't.
So I was actually fighting the case. I'd originally the charge stemmed from a prescription fraud. Right. I had a buddy of mine had stole a pad from a doctor and he penciled out me a few Percocets. And
A few being.
yeah, I didn't like it was from a dentist pad, so you couldn't write like a big script. So it was like 10 or 15 because it was for like the oxycodone 30 milligrams, which is like a higher amount or dosage than a dentist would normally ever write. So you had to kind of keep it like mellow to not look suspicious. And I had went to the pharmacy. It was actually during the time we were filming.
Number 2.
Yeah, Jackass number 2, and I was ill one day, and I had this leather jacket on with all these different pockets, and I was like rummaging through my stuff, hoping to find something.
Now, when you say ill, you mean dope sick?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, withdrawing, and I was trying to find something to hold me over through the day, and I found this pad, this piece of paper, so I went to the pharmacy down the street, and
You committed fraud.
yeah, totally. Undermine that.
But you wrote it out yourself?
No, it was already written out.
Oh.
But it didn't matter. It was I intentionally
Okay.
handed it over.
So you committed fraud.
Yes.
You pled not guilty when you knew damn well that you were guilty.
I forget what my plead was, but I was fighting it, and my lawyer ultimately got me a sentence of 11 and a half months to 23, but I was going to serve 30 weekends and 6 months house arrest is what it equated to.
Oh, so you had ample opportunity to put your prison pocket to use.
And that's exactly one of the reasons why I ended up going to prison.
So every little weekend release, you'd load up the prison pocket.
All day long, which was really just prolonging the inevitable, because when I got sober, I actually had to have hemorrhoid surgery because my asshole doubled as a suitcase for so many years.
Yeah, what's the most you put up there?
It wasn't about how much, it was really the way that I put it up there. Like, it was just raw and
Just
rough. It was like a raping.
Aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Sack of rocks.
What was your process though? Did you have to like make a little what they call a bullet?
Dude, my process was just quick and fast.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I'd
sure.
sit in the parking lot of the jail, and my buddy would be dropping me off, and I'd rip off the cigarette pack, the cellophane, and I'd throw the bags in there, and I'd take a lighter and I'd light that to make
Jesus.
which is think about the edge like a burnt, flat, and then just spit on it and just shove it up. Yeah.
It's like a butthole key bump.
Spit on it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, one time we were on tour with Fuckface Unstoppable, and we were in Europe, and we happened to be in this area where they sold a lot of smack, and I didn't have any money. I'm like, bam, give me $100. He's like, fuck no, I know what you want it for. And I wouldn't leave him alone, and he's like, shove this rock up your ass, I'll give you $100. I shoved the rock up my ass.
A real friend.
He really cared about my well-being that day, and we have all this on footage too. Actually,
thank God.
So I then go get the heroin, forget about the rock being up my ass, and I
Wait, whoa, hold on a second. You forgot the rock was up your ass.
yeah, because I'm like comatose at this point.
Yeah.
$100 worth of smacks, like.
Yeah.
So we do the show, and all of a sudden, I would open up for Fuckface, and I would come out as Phil Collins. You know Phil Collins, that song "In the Air of the Night"?
Yeah.
Because I would go on tour with those guys, but I was just the fucking biggest asshole because there was no relevance or connection with me with the tour. Like, I played no music, I was in no instruments.
I mean, I'm not going to go that far. There's absolutely a relevance and a connection. Like, you're in Bam's world, and it's like you're opening up the show with craziness. The show is all about being crazy.
Well, I wasn't opening it yet. This is the build up to where I found my place in that tour bus, because I would just, like, Bam was about it, and I'm his best friend, so he just let me do whatever. But the rest of the guys in the band who actually cared about playing music fucking couldn't stand me because I just, like, made life hell, and they had to endure my shit.
Was Jess in the band?
Jess, Chad,
Oh wow, Chad Ginsburg.
And Chad actually came up with this idea. They're like, Novak, you have to do something besides just be hell for us. So why don't you like open up for us? And I'm like, all right, but I don't play any. I have no like.
You're like G.G. Allen.
So here we go. You did. You spotted. You got it. Man. He gets it. So we're like, all right. Instead of Phil Collins, you're gonna be Pill Collins, and you're gonna open up, and you're gonna come out on stage with like. If it's at 18 and over, you'll be naked. But if it's a 21 and over, you'll be naked. But if it's 18 and over, you have to wear a pair of thongs, a bottle of wine because that's all I drank, and the cigs, and just lip song. I mean, I'd sing along karaoke in the air of the night, and just throw my wine and fucking smoke and just be a G.G. Allen and intro the band. And as the big like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo would come on, I'd intro Bam, and he'd run out and drop kick me. And then the fucking concert would kick off. So
Did you get any permanent damage from being drop kicked by Bam?
not that I'm aware of.
I know that Dave England is acutely aware of.
Really?
He finally just had surgery on his neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think heroin helped me out in a lot of those
More
ways.
bendy.
Yeah, I was like a
It's
fucking
like a
wet
drunk
noodle.
in a fucking DUI crash.
That's why they always live.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm now designated to be this guy who opens up for the band, and while I'm doing the concert, and Bam jump kicks me, this fucking rock shoots out of my ass, and I start bleeding. I start bleeding all over the fucking concert, like for real.
How big was this rock?
It was just like that.
And did you have to spit on it to get it in?
I'm sure I spit on everything to get in my ass.
It was just like that. I can't even do that.
So it wasn't quite a pool ball. Not quite a cue ball.
That'd be impressive, though.
But absolutely a golf ball.
Yeah, it was like that.
It was a golf ball.
You know who filmed it? Chris Siegel. He was on that tour
Oh,
with us.
Chris, yeah,
and he
yeah.
has the footage. So my fiance at the time was on tour with us, and
You had a fiance?
at the time, that's why. Yeah, she's now no longer. She
When she died?
no. She came to her fucking senses and was like, dude, why am I with you? Like,
Right.
so she is like this really good woman, and they take me to the hospital. And Chris is filming the whole thing, and they have me in this room, and all these doctors come in. They're making their rounds, and I'm telling the
Did you
story.
have the rock to show the doctors?
Nah, the rock was long gone, but I was explaining the story. And
Man, that rock would probably be worth something today.
it was worth $100 that one day to my asshole. So I'm like, dude, I put this rock up my ass, and it's bleeding profusely, and they're looking at it, and my ex-fiance's there, and she's like, this is you're his ex-fiance? And she's like, yeah. And they say, could you come outside the room for a second? And they bring her out, and they're saying, he's saying it's from a rock, which has caused this like profuse bleeding and inflammatory situation. This isn't from a rock, it's from years and years of damage. Like, if you could, like, how could you be his fiance and he's enduring years of fucking damage to his asshole? Alluding to the fact that I might have been a homosexual and that I was lying.
Wow.
When you were on tour all those years, were there ever stops where you just couldn't find any dope? Or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were That didn't scare you from touring like that? Because like when I was so strung out, I just didn't go anywhere because I had this fear that I would just be dope sick everywhere I went.
The way the scales of justice here, it was much easier to go without heroin in Finland than be in Baltimore letting men blow me for $10.
For sure.
So you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll just endure it because I'll get paid out of it, and I'll just make it happen on the next go around.
There's no justice in that. we weighed nothing.
You started off sounding really
I was
smart.
expecting I was gonna get some like that voice. Nothing. Fucking crickets to my guy.
Yeah, that was not. There's no justice weighed there.
But that's my, justification of.
So that was a go-to moneymaker in Baltimore, letting guys blow you.
Yeah.
But
it
what
was
about
easy.
guys that wanted you to blow them?
It never happened. It never.
Oh, we lost eye contact when you said that.
Let's weigh the scale of justice here.
Oh, fucking Tony
Lady
Robbins
Liberty.
Jr. over here. Set the record
Lady
straight.
Liberty over here.
I gotta believe that in that situation, it's like, all right, well, if a guy blowing you is $10, maybe like, hey, if I'm gonna
Yeah.
If you're gonna be the blower,
Totally.
then that's gotta, everything's got a price.
Why do heroin addicts always like itch their nose? Is that a thing? Like where
Dude,
they're always
I used to itch everything. It wasn't just
Yeah,
my
yeah.
nose.
That's how opiates are called itchy and scratchies.
Yeah.
really?
Yep. And I was never really into it. It was annoying to me to be itching. I would take these morphine pills, and I was just like, man, I don't want.
When would you take these morphine pills? You didn't get addicted? Like that's pretty rare.
I would take morphine pills when I was given them.
I loved it. I loved it. That was just, he would get annoyed with having to itch for morphine pills, but I can recall vividly being locked in a hotel with him and like him not like really letting us leave the room until we watched footage of him and being terrified of him seeing us out of eyesight. As he
Nothing's changed.
but that annoyed, but itching annoyed him.
Yeah.
God forbid he itches. Jesus Christ. And I'm the bad guy here.
Yeah. Yeah, you've always been like that, huh?
Yeah. Imagine how bad it was before.
Dude, I remember being...
Okay, so walk us through some prison pocket stuff. We're particularly fascinated because you might be aware about Vinny's experience with the prison pocket.
I am.
Did you see his reenactment of it?
I did. God bless you, man.
Yeah, that was a rough one. That reenactment was a lot bigger of a package than when I went into jail.
Yeah, a criminally underviewed video on my YouTube
I know,
channel.
dude.
Shocking demonstration of how to smuggle things into prison.
Yeah.
The times are changing, maybe, boys.
I don't know. Maybe it's suppressed.
Yeah, maybe.
People are like, I don't know.
So here's how. So I negotiate the 11 and a half to 23, 30 weekends, 6 months house arrest, right? While we're doing that, I'm still getting high. The suitcase, aka my asshole, is in full effect. Every Friday, I load it up with drugs, get in, sniff them, sleep my weekend away, discharge Sunday night. Monday night, religiously, we have that radio show on Sirius Satellite.
Yeah.
Radio Bam. I forget, it was a room maybe 2 times the size of this, and it's just like this, and there's a guy working the boards, and I forget that we're going live to the nation the majority of the time, and we'd be drinking, drugging, whatever, and you just forget. You feel like you're talking to your buddies. And I proceeded on one of these episodes to talk about how the COs, the white shirts of George W. Hill, the facility I was incarcerated in at the time, were worthless, and how my dead grandmother could do a better job than them, and how I was, in particular, sneaking my drugs in on the weekend.
Wow.
So that was a Monday night. I then go back on a Friday, and they say, Mr. Novak, get over here, when they're doing roll call for the intake. And I'm like, what? So they pull me out of this line. They put me in the other line. They then put me in the intake wing of just the regular population of the jail. And I'm in the cell, and I do my drugs. And Saturday, I'm just thinking it's a mix-up. Maybe, I don't know what's wrong. But there's a bang on the door, and there's one of those white shirts I was talking about. And they said, come with us. And they take me into this control room where there's a whole bunch of white shirts, all sergeants in there. They're standing in a circle, and they put me like in the middle. And there's a one who's sitting like in the corner on a computer, and he will not look at me. And you could tell he's the boss. And he starts repeating verbatim what I said on that radio show as the other ones just start smacking me around.
Oh, smacking around. Did they investigate your pocket? Did they?
No, they did. What they did was they.
So you had a fully loaded butthole.
I had already did it at that point because I had made it in. But they revoked my situation right there, basically, and made my next year a living hell. And that jail actually was rated one of the most corrupt jails because it was privately owned at the time. It's now publicly owned.
So there was no more storage.
No, there was no more release dates for me. And what they would do is they would move me to these different blocks. First, they put me in the SHU, special housing unit, where it's 23 and 1. I'm locked in a cell 23 hours a day. I can come out 1 hour a day, 1 day, 3 days a week to get a shower, and they unlock you. And you could only have a Bible if you had one. No reading materials, no commissary. And this is right in the beginning. So I'm detoxing from methadone, Xanax, and heroin at the same time. And I'm hallucinating. I'm thinking that the warden is sleeping with my ex-fiance. I'm thinking that I'm on The Price is Right. I'm feeding this imaginary pig that I named Minson. And Minson, yeah. And I have this cellie, and his name's Streets. He's this Muslim jihad guy, great guy. And he like caught me jerking off one day on the top cell. He's like, yo, you jerking off? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I feel some kind of fucking way about that. Not like any particular way, but just some kind of way. Like, it's a little vague. Give me a little bit of direction here. Are you mad? Are you happy? Where are we going with this?
Jesus.
And then so they put me from there to another block. And then once they realized they couldn't do anything more with me, they revoked my time. They would then come and they'd rip all the cell blocks apart just to make the other prisoners mad at me, because any block they put me on meant that I was hot and they were going to disrupt the block, you know?
So how long did it take you to detox in there?
In jail, it's easier to detox, you know, because you just accept the fact that, like, this is it. So, I mean, I was probably good within, like, 2 to 3 weeks. And then that's where I found out the done had passed while I was on that.
Oh, wow.
When I was doing that bid.
Now, when you're locked up and you're done detoxing, do you have the thought, I'm like, okay, I'm done with this? Like, I'm done with this life. I'm never going back to that shit.
No. I was done with heroin and cocaine, but I was going to drink.
Yeah.
That was my plan.
So it sounds like that was not while filming number 2, but while filming number 3.
It was one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
My timeline's a little out
So
of
you didn't
line.
you didn't drink or do drugs for the rest of that bid
I did cocaine one time
in jail?
with another cellie of mine whose name was Jihad. He was a Muslim guy. And it was during the month of Ramadan, and I was fasting with him and like doing the prayers and
cocaine.
And then one day he brought a bag of coke in, and we like sat up all night and did coke, which is the worst thing to do in
Was it
jail.
good?
It was fucking hell. Like, it's like doing coke on a plane. That's no fun.
I had a lot of fun doing cocaine.
I was gonna say, I could see you like loving that and just turning it into a party.
I remember like during takeoff, because the plane's like kind of more loud and like, you know, like during takeoff, I'd be like right in my seat, right in my seat. So yeah, that was a good amount of juicy war stories. We love that here.
Have you had any like super close like overdose calls?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of like that was my goal every day. Was to like
touch the line of death.
Anything but the dreaded underdose.
So true.
For sure.
So true.
Yeah.
So I figured out the method to like the easiest and most sure way to overdose, and that was 180 milligrams of methadone and like 3 bars of Xanax.
Jesus, dude.
When you say you're detoxing from methadone and heroin, reminds me of the time I met Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, boy.
And he says he offered me a piece of Nicorette, like the quit smoking gum.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, no, I'm good, dude. I don't want that. Like, I was like, what, are you quitting smoking? He says, no, I smoke too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like he just loves it. You know, can't get enough nicotine.
Yeah.
My sponsor's like that. Can't just all the chew, the gum, the patch,
And smoke.
and smokes. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, dude, I can't get enough.
Is that comparable to being on heroin and taking methadone?
Well, you can't really do it together. One kind of blocks out the other.
Right.
The methadone was more of just a safety net. Yeah.
Well, they give it to you for free, right?
If you're in the clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I kind of knew, believe it or not, I knew better. I knew that was not the right avenue to take to make things better.
What? Go get it for free?
Just to be on the clinic.
Methadone in general.
They call it
Yeah.
liquid. They call it liquid handcuffs.
Liquid
It's super gnarly. My mom's been on it for like 30 years.
Still?
Yeah, she's still on it.
And
yeah.
it sounds like it probably works for your mom. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does work
Yeah.
for her. Like, she hasn't like touched a needle in fucking 25 years, but I mean, she will be on it for the rest of her life.
What's that documentary about methadone? It's so gnarly.
Methadonia, maybe?
Methadonia.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
exactly what it is. Oh my God. Is that a gnarly documentary?
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, but I think the like the methadone like it soaks into your bones too, so it's a lot harder to detox from methadone.
I remember literally trying to knock myself out, like banging my head on the cement because the pain was so bad.
Yeah.
And this is why it fucks with your psyche.
Yeah.
For 7 days, I laid in my house and I was withdrawing, and I was feeling better and better and better as time went on. And then on that 8th day, I plummeted and felt like worse. You know what I mean? Like, right? It just messed with your mind when you think that things should get better. It's just like quite the contrary. It gets tenfold worse. And
Yeah.
I couldn't. I literally was banging my head on the cement.
Yeah, it's tough.
So you got off methadone.
Yeah, by force in there. Yeah, I really didn't have any options.
Suboxone is like a pill form of
Yeah.
methadone. And then what's the other one?
There's a Subutex.
Subutex.
Yeah.
I mean, Sublocade is the shot.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you sponsor guys that are on Suboxone? Because if I talk to a guy and they're like, "Well, I'm on Suboxone," I'm like, I can't even.
I sponsor anybody.
Really?
Really. I've sponsored guys that are like actively smoking herb but want to quit alcohol. I personally, and it's just my opinion, which doesn't really mean much, but I think that anyone can benefit from the knowledge.
Yeah. Fair
And-
point.
And who am I to say when it will be for it to take? You know, looking back in my first treatment center, when I went there strictly to prove a point why I didn't belong, there was a piece of knowledge that was shared with me then that was like forever going to impact me later. And when the time arrived where things aligned, it all made sense, and it stemmed from that one saying.
I can relate to that. My first time in rehab was 1995. I was 20. And this counselor says something along the lines of, look around, like, there's 12 of you, only 10 are going to make it, or something like that, or like 95% of alcoholics never achieve long-term sobriety. And I just thought, like, well, then, then screw that.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like if I was really into the idea, I got a 5% chance,
Yeah.
like, forget it. And those statistics, that thing that was said in that rehab in 1995, like, kept me loaded until the point that it kept me sober.
Yeah.
Because when I finally got like the willingness, when I was in that psych ward after Knoxville's intervention, I was like, man, okay, I'm going to do this. But I remembered those statistics. And I remember going into the rehab and saying, look, I know that the odds are not in my favor. I want to give myself every advantage I possibly can. So however long you recommend I be here, I want to stay considerably longer. And it was Dr. Drew who was in charge of the rehab. And he said, that's great, but if you're really serious, he says, I don't recommend you stay here for more than 30 days, but I do recommend after 30 days here, you go into a sober living. And I stayed in sober living until I had 2 years of sobriety. And again, it was just because, dude, like, I know those statistics, man. I want to be in that 5%.
Yeah.
I want to be,
The perspective change.
I remember when you did the Rip Ride podcast, when I was producing that one, and I was like not even a year sober, still living the sober living, and I just wanted to leave. I was like, oh, I want to get the fuck out of this house. And I remember asking you, I was like, why did you stay in sober living for 2 years? And what you said, like, struck a chord with me. You're like, I want to give myself the best chance at long-term sobriety.
Yeah.
So when you said that, it really like made me think, and I stayed for 3 years. Yeah.
So killer.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody who stayed in sober living until they had 2 years of sobriety who's not still sober today. And the crazy thing too, what you just said, that you were like, antsy, like, gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Those moments where I felt like super uncomfortable and I gotta get out of here were specifically the moments that I needed to be there the
Yeah.
most.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Because
totally.
it was 100% just the disease
Yeah.
just sitting on my shoulder and be like, dude, you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to get out of here. I was 100% going to get loaded if I wasn't in sober living at those moments.
Yeah.
And so thank God I was there. And all of the rest of the time, goddamn, life was so simple back then.
Wasn't it?
Life
know.
was so simple,
Yeah.
man. All I had
Yeah.
to do was just get through the day. Like, I had just lost, like, half or more than half of whatever savings I had because I got sober in 2008. You know, it was the financial.
Oh, yeah.
The financial crisis just wiped my shit out. Like, and somehow I was not even like. I don't remember being gripped by financial fear. I was just, life was just super simple.
Dude, I mean, at that time, for you and then for me later on, all that was expected in early sobriety was for my only job was to stay sober. And people didn't even believe I could do that.
Right.
And they're like, you know, and then once I stayed sober, now like there's tons of responsibilities and things.
I want to ask you guys' opinion on Matthew Perry dying in a bathtub.
Yeah.
I mean, at 54, dying in a bathtub, is that kind of like a...
I think that...
Was that... who's the girl that died in the bathtub? Whitney Houston? No.
Whitney Houston died in a bathtub.
But they said that was from cocaine, and she got into a hot bathtub, and like it caused her heart to stop.
Right,
Joey
Ehren-
Diaz was saying something like that.
Aaron Carter died in a bathtub.
So when somebody dies in a bathtub, I mean, how do you... Or a hot
There's
tub.
more. I think there's more... like bathtubs and hot tubs, man.
How do you know anybody that died in a hot tub?
The chick from 8 Mile,
Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy, did she die in a bathtub?
I don't
She
know.
was
I
cool.
think she was I don't know if it was in a bathtub, but that was an overdose, right?
Type in celebrities who have died in a bathtub or a hot tub.
Wonder if we'll ever hear anyone dying in an ice bath. I don't think you're going to hear that.
No way, dude.
Wim Hof dies.
No, dude. Like actually, people are overdosing. They're flopping around. They're about to die. They get tossed in an ice bath.
Changes their life.
It's like the healthy Narcan.
Yeah.
It's like the green juice of Narcan.
So what is that? Is that like you're fucked up, like drunk, and you fall asleep, or you're on pills and you pass out, or I mean, what?
I apologize for interrupting you. I'm very, very mindful about that. I care about the audience. I care about.
You're mindful about apologizing, but you still interrupt.
Not so bad.
No, I'm just being funny. But you didn't interrupt me there.
I'm so much better, and I really care about it. With that said, I think that nobody is dying, drowning in a hot tub
Sober.
at 54 years old, and they're clean and sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been fucking shit-faced in the hot tub, and like I'm not, you know, like you wake up or.
I mean, they said already today that there was no illegal drugs on the scene, but in the house there was all kinds.
Yeah,
of...
and I think they even said there was no drugs in his system.
We don't know that.
We
for
don't know that
months.
yet?
We don't know
Oh,
that
for
for months
months.
until
Okay.
toxicology comes back. So in months they'll probably say, yeah, it was like all these prescription drugs that were on the scene. Now, here's something. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, what a shame.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up. There's something about like putting your story out there, like waving the flag of sobriety. He just had this memoir come out last year. I remember when I did the steveo Rise and Demise, or Demise and Rise, and it was like, I was like, oh man, this is so scary, because there's like a really bad track record for celebrities who come out like waving their flag of sobriety and I'm all good now, you know, like, and I was just wanted to be so careful about that, and it scares me to this day. So what do you think, Brandon? The way that he's like, oh yeah, you know, like, I mean, you're so front and center with it.
The first about his untimely death, and really unfortunate, I think, is it's just so tragic, because history has a way and tendency of kind of repeating itself. Generally, if you look at the analytics of that, and if that's the case, it's just really sad, because it didn't have to be that way, right? Like, that's a death that could have been completely unavoided. And it just, I don't know. I don't want to say that I can predict the future. For me, I just love drugs and alcohol so much, like insanely amounts of love and sick, twisted like relationship that and skateboarding were the two things that consumed me 24/7, ate it, breathed it, slept it, dreamt it, couldn't get enough of both. And then, you know, when I got sober, I kind of just carried that mentality of like, this is just what I do and who I am. And I never really thought much about, you know, the pronouncing it to the world and declaring this, I'm this sober guy. but I used very publicly. I never, I hid it when I had to, but I never, that whole, anonymity wasn't really my bag personally. So I don't know. I can, everything that I'm saying, it could be like a complete belief and notion of mine, or it could just be me justifying or deflecting like the fact that maybe it could be a slippery slope.
For sure, but I also think with like people like you guys with such a big following, like your guys' story has the potential to reach and help so many people. Like a lot of people look up to you guys, so I would have to think a lot of them have some sort of drug addiction or mental whatever they're going through. They see guys like you know.
I think that there are arguments on both sides.
For sure.
Like, lead by example, whatever, like inspire people by walking the walk. However, it gets really murky when you are pumping your sobriety out there to benefit, like with power, property, and prestige. Big, like when, and it just kind of felt like his memoir was like the way he was promoting it. I don't know. It felt kind of weird.
Well, they say, that my history states that every time that I was consumed with the money, the property, and the prestige, I always was diverted from the primary purpose, which was to simply just stay sober, right? Because I had become completely sidelined with the glitz and the glamour, the women, the places, the things, and really all I was doing was just filling this internal void with that external solution. And there's no substance there. It always kind of...
Yeah. I mean, at your guys' level, I feel like it'd be hard to be anonymous. I mean, what do you...
Right. I mean, I don't know.
What do you do?
And here I am being a total hypocrite because we're talking about sobriety and putting it out there. And, like it gets very, very blurry. I think that my approach is just to not have that be like just my thing. Like I remember before I got sober, James Hetfield from Metallica, he got sober. They had some kind of monster Metallica documentary.
I remember that.
And it was like, as much as it was a documentary about them finding a new bassist, recording a new album, it really was a documentary about James Hetfield's early recovery. And it showed him like super vulnerable, super afraid, and like he put that out there in the world, but he didn't start writing songs about the 12 steps, like it was like he put that out there in the world and then he moved on and like was Metallica. He wasn't like, hey, I'm Mr. 12-step guy. He was James Hetfield from Metallica.
Yeah.
And I really latched onto that, like I took that as my inspiration to put that steveo demise and rise out there. It was out there, and then I just went back to being like steveo, doing my jackass thing, and by having that kind of a balance and keeping my professional life kind of separate from recovery. That's why when you reached out to me, Brandon, about doing some gig, and it was like, it was all about recovery. And I was like, yo, dude, just because they're selling tickets for it, I just can't, I can't.
And I get that. Makes complete sense to me. I get, and then I kind of look at it sometimes from the perspective of like, in my recovery and the whole harm reduction world, it's like there's no margin for error, yet it's impossible to do perfect. And like usually when I find myself in these positions where I fucked up just the right amount, it takes me back to like my relationship with my higher power, which is where the real work comes from. Which is kind of where I'm at now because, I opened that facility. And
I mean, how many sober livings do you have now?
6. 6
sober livings and a rehab?
Yeah.
You have an inpatient rehab as well?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Redemption.
That's sick.
Addiction treatment.
I love it.
Yeah.
So with that, right, like my defects, I'm a 44-year-old single man that lives with 3 cats, and my defects are like I'm not great at relationships. So when you were saying to Mr. Randolph here, I hear you and I'm sorry, That's my like 5 days a week to all my employees. They're like, you want to know what your defects are? Get into a fucking relationship. So God's like, all right, I'm going to give you like a facility, and you're going to have to make all of your employees happy, and you're going to have to make them seen and feel heard, and let them know that their opinion matters. And you know, all the stuff that I'm not great at, being a single selfish man a lot of times.
What about like people who attack you, like on social media and stuff? I've seen some
Sure.
comments where people are like, "Oh, Brandon," maybe even Bam was attacking you in this way, and that's like how, you know. But like every time Brandon Novak puts somebody in rehab, he's getting paid by their insurance. Like you're like I don't know if he ever called you like a Florida Shuffle guy, but then it's like, so profiting off putting people in the rehab, what was it called, Banyans?
Yeah. Is who I worked with before.
And then it's like, and then getting these houses for sober living where he's got the drug addict residents who are living in the sober livings, like paying the mortgage so that he can own the houses. You're a real estate tycoon.
Yeah. Well, what I know is that, like, you know, hurt people, right?
Right.
And so I totally, and I've been where people like that are at, right? I've seen me do the same thing, so I get that. And truth be told, it's just couldn't be farther from reality. Like, there, nowhere in this world does an insurance company cut you a check for sending someone to rehab. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So that's just not.
You don't get a finder's fee?
No, that's like insanely illegal.
Dude, a mentor in the program started, he was the first guy to start. We were walking and talking, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you know, when they started doing like the $40,000, $50,000 a month sober living, he's like, I started that. And I was like, oh, don't you feel bad about, like, you know, people? He's like, no, why would I? He's like, people will pay $40,000, $50,000. Staying alive is expensive. And that's how he justified in his head. And he has the biggest rehabs in the world, and he's like, he's at peace with it.
Sure. And even the whole piece about, you know, you get the mortgage on the house, and you've got the sober living business paying the mortgage bills. Like, I mean, when people go to sober living, they got to pay for the sober living.
Absolutely.
And so if that is going to be a mortgage as opposed to a rent, then big whoop, because they're going to pay it anyway. And so if you're smart enough to end up at the end of the run with the houses, and you own the houses because you were able to use the houses to help people with the sober living, then screw it. You own a bunch of houses.
So that's exactly my play. Complete transparency and authenticity right here. I the 6 houses that I own, they cost no more. I think the most I paid for any of them was $270, right? And these are 5-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, kind of old Victorian historic houses in Wilmington, Delaware. I charge each guy, there's no more than 10 people to a house. And each of those individuals pays $180 a week rent.
Now, are you strictly cash?
Yes, strictly cash, no insurance.
Yeah.
And that's the cheapest around.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And no insurance. And I provide scholarships for the first month for any of the client in need. Because I understand that we don't end up there by way of fucking financial freedom, right? That's quite the contrary. So although it costs me a little bit on the front end, I'm losing on the back end, as long as I give them that month to kind of focus on their foundation of their recovery, the sobriety, and really their structure of long-term sobriety, they end up staying there for what I suggest is a minimum of a year, because that's what I did. Wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel, just redoing what worked for me. I don't have the answer here. I just know what my story looked like. And they stay, and they become consistent payers of rent. And what happens is, I've pulled money out of those houses twice, and that was just in the beginning when I left Banyan to open up Redemption, to pay my bills, because I no longer had this income coming in. And those clients pay the mortgage. I don't even know what's in the accounts. So that the money that it costs for me to get the house is the upfront money. Once it's open and full, the clients pay the mortgage. Now, if you left treatment and you were going to move into an apartment, you need a minimum of $10,000 to do that. minimum up front, furniture, first month, last month, security deposit,
Right.
good credit to get things turned on in your name. Generally, addicts burn those bridges, and no one's going to co-sign for them.
Right.
So I offer that.
If somebody came to me and was like, dude, I'll give you $50,000 for your house to turn it into rehab a month, I'd be like, it's a no-brainer, dude. 100%.
So my end game there is I don't even know. I swear to God, I have no idea what's in that account now. My end game is that I can do one of three things. I could sell it as a franchise. I could just own the properties outright, or I could let someone else run it and let them just kind of do. And I just stop in and run courses or groups.
What does it look like for people in these sober livings? Like, how often are they being drug tested?
So each house has a house manager. The way they pay their rent is by living there free and basically babysitting the clients in the house. They have curfews. They have to attend 5 meetings a week. They have to have a sponsor. They have to actively be seeking employment. Chores. They have to work with their sponsors on the steps. And every Sunday night we have a check-in, and we go around and see who's where. Are you paying rent? Are you behind? What step are you on? What's your sponsor's name? What's his number? We call them. This actually, November 4th, we're going to be having our 3-year anniversary party, which is it's
For house one?
For the first one opened literally November 4th, 3 years ago.
Now each house is AA mandatory.
Any mandatory, just some program.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat per se.
Sure.
I think, and for me, when I hear people say, I'm Brandon, I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, it's like saying, hi, I'm Brandon, I'm a dog, I'm a German Shepherd. It's like, personally, it's just kind of one and the same. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to go from that guy who used to shove rocks up his ass for $100 and just do a lot of really unkind thing to human beings to hopefully leave this legacy of Novak's house, which just prides itself on literally helping any man in need as long as we have a bed.
Are you strictly male or are you co-ed?
Male, yeah. Co-ed's a whole other thing. And that's why I created Redemption, right? It wasn't because it was a money grab. It's a whole different beast. And as I evolve as a person, it's like now I'm in the world of like hiring a psych practitioner, a medical director, a clinical director, and I have a billing company that deals with the insurance companies, which they're like mobsters in itself. But that's a whole other conversation for a different time. But I saw, unfortunately, that the demand was there. My houses are full. There's a waiting list. I just didn't have more. And I'm like, dude, I've been around. I've been sober long enough to really believe that I can fucking do anything that I want. I could become a brain surgeon if I want. No doubt in my mind. And I'm like, I can do more and be better and help more. So I created Redemption. And it's just basically my house is on steroids.
How do people apply to get into your place?
The facility?
Yeah.
Just call. It's a treatment center.
Yeah.
So you can call. You can go to the
I'm trying to ball up a plug for you.
Nah, I'm terrible at selling my shit. I'm just talking about shoving rocks up asses.
Do you have any future plans for like detoxes, outpatients, anything like that?
Yeah. I'll expand. I'll grow. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that like my employees are happy. It's a startup. I've invested every dollar that I have. My 3 credit cards are maxed out at the moment. I have like just enough in my account to cover my bills this month. I had to give an employee a $20,000 raise because he took a $30,000 decrease in pay to come work for us. So it's just like I'm really learning how to take people's feelings into consideration. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's like I had to step out on faith. Like, it's easy to say, like, I believe in God or my higher power, because God can be a discouraging word, but, like, let me see you, like, show me how much you believe. And that's what I did.
What are some of the random ways people do to, like, pass drug tests? Because there's some things that, like, people do, like, they pour Gatorade in there, and it's like, and it passes. And, have you seen
Gatorade? Really?
My brother did that, like, in the 90s. He poured it in there, and it's like, yeah, he's clean.
But it's blue.
Well, no, it's
the thing
yellow.
is, though, it's like we pissed the guys and women, but the piss tests don't even really matter because the behaviors are going to tell you when you're fucking up. You know what I mean? Like, when it's good to know, and for clinical perspectives, we have to document it, and they have to, like, really that's the professional way, but I Thursday, dude, last week was tough, man. Thursday, 3 clients decided they were going to go out and smoke crack and do heroin. And then within like a 10-hour span, we had to isolate them. We had to separate them from the rest of the clients because that can be like a disease that they kind of manifest throughout and pollutes the whole community. 2 chose to go to rehab. A 19-year-old kid just thought it was a better idea to walk down the street and continue to smoke crack. And that's like a sad thing because the kid has a history of just overdosing. So we deal with that. We process that Friday in group, and then Friday night, another guy decides he's going to go and do heroin and overdoses, and the ambulance has to be called, and they have to give Narcan, and that's like really traumatic for people early in sobriety, and I didn't know that I was signing up for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say when you get sober, buy a suit
Totally.
because you're gonna have to go to a lot
For
of
sure.
funerals.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, fucking weddings.
Have you had any like serious tragedies at your house?
Dude, so okay, so the anniversary, the 3-year anniversary that we'll have this November 4th will be in dedication to 3 of our residents that died. That's the reality.
Died in the house.
While in the house,
Wow.
1 in the house,
Yeah.
but the other 2
Yeah.
out, but lived at the house. And that's everybody carries a message, you know, of
For
what
sure.
to do or what not to do. But for the grace of God, there go I. And that, you know, what initially upset me and turned me off about the program now incentivizes me and motivates me to be more proactive in my deal, to secure that so I'm not their family coming to my funeral.
How many house managers have relapsed in the house?
2. But now since then, we've now have a general house manager whose job is to solely oversee the house managers. Because we got to a point where
So he's like director of operations.
Yeah,
kinda.
we were kind of like lackadaisical, foolish on me to believe that like because they're the house manager, they're exempt from.
Well, especially when the highest rates of relapse like are for people who work in recovery.
Yep. My sponsor told me that in the beginning. I'll never forget it. And I
Crazy.
said, what do you think about this? And he's like, I think it's a bad idea. And I said, why? And he said, because the majority of people that work in treatment relapse. I said, why? And he said, because your work is not your recovery, and your recovery is not your work. And the moment that line gets blurred,
Yep.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
But I knew that, and now like ignorance is no longer bliss. I'm to be held accountable for this information that I know. And
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen scoring drugs in the streets of Baltimore?
dude, one night I got stabbed. One night I got stabbed in the head.
One night I got stabbed in the head.
I was it was upstairs in this abandoned house. I was renting this room from this guy named Slim. It's an abandoned house, but I'd pay him $10 a night to sleep in this abandoned house. And it's like 4 a.m, and I'm leaving the house to go kind of secure my finances for the day, whether it's robbing, cheating, whatever I have to do. But I'm getting an early start, a head start of the day here.
Real go-getter.
Yeah, right? Forward thinker I am. And as I walk down the stairs, it's a really sad sight. There's a milk crate on the floor, and there's a piece of plywood on top of it. And there's this little Chinese store we would go to because there's no electricity, and we would buy these little 10-cent candles. And that room was used to get high. And I came down at 4 a.m, and Slim's at the table, this woman Annette, and this woman Robin, and a baby in a carriage, and they're smoking crack, and the baby's crying, and Annette calls me. She said, "Come here." My other 2 friends who I was with, they left. They were outside. She said, "Come here, I want to talk to you." And with that, Robin, who had the woman with the baby, she had just got out of treatment, so she was pretty had some weight on her. She yoked me up and put me in this headlock, and she's like, give me the money. And I had $10 hidden in my sock, and somehow they knew that. I don't know how they knew it, but I refused to give the $10 up. The baby's crying. They're smoking crack. It's 4 a.m. in this really terrible part of Baltimore City. Baby's crying more. I won't give the money. And then finally Robin says, "Annette, give me the knife." And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And Annette hands Robin what I think is a knife, who then proceeds to start stabbing me in the head. Finally, after the 4th puncture, I pull the $10 out and I give it to him, and I see that she stabbed me in the head with an ink pen, and I made it out.
Jesus.
You're like, oh, it's a pen. Give me
yeah,
back my 10 bucks.
Fuck you.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, so business is good.
Unfortunately, it is. We're growing exponentially. We've been met with really open arms. And it comes back to the fact that I'm there every day. I love it. I run the first group every morning at 9 a.m. My office is like a humongous trigger. I remember I told you I love drugs and alcohol so much that I commissioned this photographer, and we went back to Baltimore, and he shot present day photos of the two corners where I bought all my heroin, which are still active drug shops. And I had them blown up so big that if you sit in my office, it's like a 3D version of like Google Images. You feel like you're in the hood buying, which probably isn't a great thing.
Yeah.
But I just have this sick, twisted, I showed my medical director the other day, or the psych practitioner, and he's like, you should, he's like this older African guy. He said, you should be very proud of that. And I was not expecting that from him.
Yeah.
He found it to be motivational.
Wait, what's the proximity of all the 6 houses?
Ironically enough, 13 minutes away from my facility is the first house. The first 2 houses, which 13 is my lucky number, it's my 13th treatment center I went to. The first 2 houses are directly across the street from each other. The third house is right at the top of the street. The 4th house is a half a block over. The 5th house is half a block down, and the 6th is across from that. And I somewhat did that intentionally because I really wanted to create a sense of community and accountability, and for people who are like in the 6th house to interact with the people that are in the 1st and 2nd house, which are the intake houses, to show them that like what recovery can do. Because when you're in the 6th, 5th, or 4th house, you're established. You have a job, you have a car, you have a girlfriend, things that look appealing to early sobriety.
So it's structured such that you come through the house and you progress down the line.
Yes. Yeah.
How long do you until you move into the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th house?
It's a case-by-case situation. Where are you at with the work, with the sponsor, with your rent? Are you actively participating in your sobriety? Do you have a home group? Do you have a commitment? A lot of things go into account. But what I've learned, and thank God, this is a real privileged problem to have, we don't have a lot of guys that come there and end up relapsing. We have a lot of guys that come there and just think that it's a little too structured for their liking.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember checking into sober living for the first time and hearing about the curfews and the chores and this. And I remember thinking, man, I'm being treated like a child.
Yeah.
This is regular, man. They don't know,
Totally.
dude, who I am. And,
Yeah.
And God, I'm so glad that I just let that. Oh yeah, like I should be treated like a child, because left to my own devices, it's all bad.
For sure.
Little did you know, they really knew who you were. Right? It's like,
Right.
they don't know who I am. Motherfucker, we
Big
know you
time.
better than you know
Big
you.
time. And I remember too, living in the sober living, I had a house slip. Like I'd have to go to meetings in there. Like if you've got like a house slip, a court card, something that you've got to document that you were at the meeting, then you put it in the basket. You come, and I remember it was a real hit to my ego at times to put my house slip in the basket, because I thought everybody's looking at me, everybody's just hyper focused on me. They're gonna see me put my house slip in the basket, and it's gonna tell them that I'm here because I have to be here because but I'm not. I'm in sober living because it's my choice. So why do I have the house slip? And just so glad that I swallowed my pride every time that was a concern, and I just did it.
Little do
screw
you
it.
know, they're probably just like, God damn it, here's another slip, which means I'm going to be later to meet this girl that I have a date with. Like, they could give a fuck less why you're there, what house you're in, or what your plan is.
Right. Oh, 100%.
Have you heard from Bam?
I have not. And the reason why is because I had to create some healthy boundaries. Right?
In the last, because he just celebrated 60 days.
Yeah. There got to a point at the end where, when we were talking, and I don't think he wasn't in a good place then. He was like really spewing this hateful stuff. And I'm like, this behavior isn't acceptable to me. Like, I accept where he is as a human being, but I don't need to show up for that to take that.
Okay, for the record, did you crash his car?
Absolutely.
You did?
100%.
Okay.
And
is he going off about the car?
No,
stuff?
I just remember back in the day, and I
Right.
just never heard you address that, but I was wondering, I was like...
I absolutely did. And he easily, what he says is true. He could have reported the car stolen to the insurance company and got reimbursed.
Yeah.
He did not. I didn't go to jail. He ate that cost. But without me having to make this like fuck it. I mean, I'll just say it. On the 28th of every month, Phil receives a check from me from Financial Amounts.
Oh, cool.
Which has been actively happening now, I'd say, for the past 2 years or maybe 3.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
but that's not something that I needed to,
We can cut that out if you want to cut
I
it
don't
out.
care.
I was just trying to be funny, and it turned into this serious thing.
It's totally cool. And I really don't care either way. But I'd see people say that, and they'd come. And I took a note and lesson from you, which I do a lot, where I really stopped buying into social media. I stopped reading the comments. I stopped letting, because I saw you do that.
Yeah, dude, I do my best to avoid the comments, man.
So now I'm at the point where I'm trying to
It's like, yeah,
practice
good
like
call.
1 hour a day social media.
And my Vinny, now you got me worried. Like what?
No, dude, all good.
Do you read?
You really sold that.
Yeah.
So what? Bam reaches out to you and you don't pick up the phone, or?
No, I had to block him.
Oh wow.
Just because at the time when I did that, he was like really not exhibiting nice behaviors.
This is recently, right?
He had a fairly recent rant on Novak.
This probably maybe
really?
like 4 months ago ish.
Sounds about right.
But what I do believe is true now is that he is probably doing the best that I've seen him do in a long time, and the reason why is his skating. I can tell when he's like not just like standing on a board, get a shot of me.
I saw that, like that. It wasn't a melon. It was just, but it was just
It's an ollie over a head. Yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
it.
you know, it's like alcoholics. Like whatever you say doesn't matter, right?
Right.
But like your behaviors will tell me exactly how you're living. His skateboarding, I can tell when he's like thoroughly, sincerely skating, and he
Yeah.
only does that when he's doing better. The last time I saw him do that was when he was filming the Vice thing in Spain with Winkle. That was he's back there again. So
He looks good. You know, he looks good on his social media.
Here's the crazy thing: is that 2 days ago, my buddy Darby Allin,
Yeah, the
who's
wrestler.
the wrestler for AEW, and he's just a rad skater.
He's so
just
sick.
a rad guy.
The guy
Yeah.
who went down the half pipe in a body bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The vert wall quarter pipe
Yeah.
at Baker. I love that guy, and he's like pretty tight with Bam. He came over and he's skating the ramp a couple days ago, and I was like, hey man, I lost touch with Bam, you know, like I don't have a number for him, I don't have anything, you know, but I want Bam to see my ramp, dude. Can you like just text him this clip that I just shot of you skating around? Just text it to Bam. And Darby let me know that Bam got back to him, and he said, Bam asked, was Steve-O talking shit about me? And Darby said, no, he wasn't. He just wants you to skate his ramp or something like that. And I'm glad, man. I'm not here to talk shit.
Hey, I mean, right now. So, ironically enough, his girlfriend, this girlfriend that he has, who seems to be inciting some kind of motivation in him, messaged me the other day. She
wow.
DM'd me, and she said, "This is like 3 days ago," and she's like, "I just want you to know I've never met you. It's nice to meet you. I don't know what your past looks like, but Bam is like, you know, he misses you and he talks about you often and he smiles when conversations come up about you, you know, and that's nice. Yeah, I don't think that I will like want to re-entertain like no, who the fuck am I to say that? I'll show up for him whenever, like he did for me. And hopefully it will take somewhere along the line.
Yeah, the craziest part and why I brought up Darby Allin is that he told me Bam's got his alcohol monitor bracelet off.
I was shocked.
Oh, whoa.
He's got it off, and he isn't
Exactly.
wasted.
I
That's crazy.
I would have bet I even said I bet my sobriety when that bracelet comes off, he's right back to where he left off. And when I found that out, I was like,
Right.
wow, things are changing. Maybe.
Right. And I would say thank God for this court case. Thank God for this criminal court case, because I think Bam is legitimately terrified of getting wasted and ending up in jail because of it.
I've seen a lot of handcuffs create sobriety for people.
Big time.
Divinely inconvenienced.
Yeah, it's all also like, you know,
A nudge
when a
from
family.
the judge.
Well, it's like when the family stops enabling. That's when you usually get sober, you know, or when like your closest friends. So, of course, like a lawsuit from Jess, like I mean, it's a tough decision to make if you're Jess, but you have to do that kind of shit sometimes.
Not a lawsuit, criminal charges.
What's the difference?
One is,
Well, yeah. What is the difference?
I mean, the criminal courts deal with freedom, and civil courts deal with money. Like, you
Well,
lose-
regardless, because I remember I was telling the story like when I heard on Loveline Dr. Drew, and he was like, "Dude, like if you have a family member that's a drunk and he keeps driving, call the cops on him, get him arrested, have him go to jail."
That's where I'm at.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, "I would never fucking do that to my." But it's like,
Right.
bro, I mean, at the 20th, 30th time, like fuck that guy. Even if he's my brother, like he's gonna hurt somebody, and you can't just sit there and watch, whatever the case may be, you know. And I had a call with a lady the other day. I used to work with her son, and the son wasn't responding to the text, and so I texted his mom, and I was like, "Hey, have you heard from so and so?" And she's like, "Oh, he's in another rehab." And she was just venting, and I said, "You ever thought about doing Al-Anon?" They do not want to fucking hear about Al-Anon, and it's like it's just a strange thing. Like they can't. They have this rationalization in their head that, I would never do that to my son, or I'd never like, it's my baby. I don't want to. It's like, but you baby him, you bury him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of things getting bad, right? Because for me, things had to get really bad before they got really good. And I adopted that mentality from my sponsor, my first sponsor. I was at the end, and I was in a bad way, and I was stranded at the airport, and I was really contemplating suicide. I had come up with a plan, and I had texted my sponsor, and I said, "Dude, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't do it." And his response was a picture of a poppy plant. It's like, he always said to me, "You never get between an alcoholic and their bottom, ever, 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 ever." And that, for me, my experience states that I had to have repercussions for my actions. And without that, unmanageability for me is a Monday morning cup of tea. The pain has to be unfucking bearable.
Yeah.
Unbearable.
How were you going to do it? Kill yourself?
Oh,
unalive yourself.
I had when I had got sober, I had this bag, and it possessed my belongings, and in that bag, I was also an accessories whore, but I had 8 scarves. I liked scarves. I would tie off with them. I would use them as belts. But this day, I was going to go into the men's stall of the BWI airport where I was stranded, and kind of make this makeshift noose. Which it surely would have fucking failed, but in the bathroom stall, the very last one where businessmen hang their jackets while they shit, I was gonna hang myself there.
You would have fell.
Yeah,
Sure.
it wouldn't have worked. I'm frail, I'm sick, I couldn't tie a proper authentic knot to hold my weight.
Yeah, dude.
But that was it. I was done.
For sure.
Well, I think that as it relates to Bam, neither of us are mad at him.
No,
We want
love him
do
to
well.
And that's the thing. It sucks. I've been skating a lot lately, and I skate, and then I'm like, dude, I'd love to skate with him. He's a fun guy to skate with, and I believe and I hope that we'll get some sessions in at some point.
I just wish that there wasn't a wedge between him and his family. That's what hurts the most.
It's,
I can handle him, losing contact with me, but it's man, with all the, I mean, that's your mom, that's your dad, that's your brother. Come on, dude, with that That upsets me.
But when he talks shit about you guys, you know it's not real, right? Like, or do you like
Okay.
get your feelings hurt sometimes?
I'm gonna reveal something here. There was I'm very good friends with this radio DJ, the radio host in Tampa, Mike Calta. Mike Calta hit me up. He said, "Hey, I've got a BAM coming into the studio tomorrow. Are you guys cool?" And I was like, "I don't even know if we're cool. I'd love it if you asked BAM." So Mike Calta asks BAM on the radio, "Are you cool with Steve-O?" BAM says, "I love Steve-O, but I went on tour with him, and he's supposed to pay me a bunch of money to go on tour, and then he put all the money he owes me into a trust fund for Phoenix, and I want to know why I did the work, I get the money, why are you trying to give it to Phoenix who can't even get it until he's 18. And like this upset me because that's calling me a liar and a thief. And it's simply not the case.
There's one thing you are not, and that is not a liar.
Yeah. Number one, there is no trust fund for Phoenix because BAM has refused to sign up on one being created. It just doesn't exist. So how I would have put money into a trust fund for Phoenix is there's no way. Number two, I absolutely paid BAM specifically on January 31st because I asked Scott to look it up, and he got every damn penny that was promised to him 100%
Well,
paid.
he was supposed to go somewhere else during that time, and you paid that guy double what he was owed or whatever that was.
Yeah, whatever, like everything that was agreed to, I honored my word. And then 2 months after the fact, then I reached out and I said, "Hey, we've got these boards. We've got like some of these boards left over. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them." And I said, "I'll tell you, this is 2 months later. I said, I'll tell you, with what's remaining of these skateboards, I'm happy to sell them and I'll even sell unlimited more. But at this point, given all of what's happened, like I'm only going to sell these boards if your half goes into a trust fund for Phoenix." This was in relation to transactions that had not happened, that moving forward in the future. And that marked specifically the moment when I lost contact with BAM. He was so outraged. I got a drunken call. He was so outraged, and I've never spoken to him since.
But he had the date. He had it mixed up.
He changed his number. Like I've had no communication with him. But I was so upset that I was so upset by what he said, mischaracterizing what happened on that Mike Calta show. I turned around and bought a cameo video from him.
That's amazing.
Can we play the clip here?
Yeah, we were making this. We were making this cameo video, which is such a
amazing.
It's such a classic video. But
do we have it? Did he respond?
Yeah, we have it. We can play it from here.
Oh, that's so good.
Go to orders.
And it just said, "Hey, Steve-O says that you accused him of not paying you, and in fact, he."
Well, you.
Hello, dear Rando fan. It's Bam Margera here. And you know what? My parents handle my bills, and I haven't spoke to them since they took the other side in the courtroom. So I don't really know what's going on. But last time I checked, when I guess I was pretty bad on alcohol, they said that Steve-O was setting up a trust fund for Phoenix to get paid when he was 18. And I was like, but I did the tour, so why doesn't he pay me? Long story short, apparently everything worked out fine. But they sent the money to my parents, which I don't talk to, so everything is just great. And I love Steve-O. Rock and roll.
For the small fee of $50, BAM too will agree with you.
Yeah, you
I need to order like 10 of them now.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm doing it, dude.
Dude, I didn't.
It's so good.
I didn't expect him to actually respond,
That's
but
brilliant.
what we wrote into the request was, "Hey, Steve-O says that you accused him of not paying you, but in fact he did on January 31st, And he never even brought up a trust fund for Phoenix until months later.
Rando fans, Spam Margera here.
Yeah.
Scroll up.
Yeah,
You know what?
Okay, dude, enough with that. Yeah.
Oh, so he did that, and then he went back and.
Well, no, I didn't
still-
expect him to okay. Hey, Bam, Steve-O said he's bummed you accused him of not paying you for going on tour with him. He says you got paid everything you were owed on exactly January 31st for both the shows and the boards you guys sold, and that he has the documentation. He said he didn't even bring up the trust fund until 2 months later. And that was only about selling additional boards after that point. He thinks you're out there calling him a liar and a thief. Can you make a video message to Steve-O that I can post and tag him? It hurts my heart that he's so upset.
I mean, what the fuck?
Who needs the court of law when you have Cameo?
I didn't expect him to make the video.
That's
How fast did he
amazing.
respond?
Couple days.
We put a 24-hour
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, you pay a few extra bucks.
Yeah. And the 24 hours elapsed. I figured he was never going to respond to it, but I didn't care. I just wanted to I wanted to know that he got that information.
For sure.
Because I don't want him accusing me of something that I didn't
When
do.
I sent that to you, I think your response was like, "Wow," you know, like you were
Yeah.
impressed with, you know,
When he
his-
was on tour with us, did you see any glimmer of hope? Because he was hitting meetings with us every night. We were reading out of the
Not
big
it.
book. He
No.
was sober. I'm pretty sure he was sober the whole time we were on the road.
He was sober the whole time on the road, but what the telltale sign for me is when somebody blames other people for their problems.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately heard a lot of that, but I mean, I had a great time with them.
Yeah.
But that kind of goes back to the notion that I said earlier. You know, something that was a seed that was planted unbeknownst to me at that first attempt at treatment, where I went there strictly to prove a point why I wasn't you fucking sober weird people, and I didn't need what you do to have this good life. Ultimately ended up being like one of the main foundation stones in my recovery when the timing aligned. And
Right. And that's my answer to the question, is that I didn't see any glimmers of hope, but I felt strongly that we were planting seeds that might later turn into something.
Well, he's probably going to see this. Do you guys have anything to say to him, or is that?
I mean, we said our thing, man. Like, I don't want anybody out there like accusing me of something I didn't do. I cleared that up. And
You miss him, and
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
Like, our position is always going to be, hey,
it's always been the same.
yeah, if you can just get all we've ever wanted was for him to be happy, healthy, prosperous, have a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of story. And everybody's got a different approach to how you want to help somebody be happy and healthy and prosperous.
Yeah.
Some people think that enabling is the way to get that. Some people think tough love is the way to get that. You know, like you know.
None of us really know. And I hope we all want the same outcome.
I think everybody
yeah,
everybody absolutely wants, even the haters.
Yeah.
Even the haters on his Reddit
in their
page.
sick, weird way, they want a good outcome too.
Yeah.
It's like we're all sick in our own way. And my sickness is shown in different ways than Vinny's or Scott's or you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
not mine.
so there's no hard feelings. You know,
So
like,
bam, come skate the new ramp.
Yeah, come skate the ramp, man.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing is I want him happy, healthy, prosperous. I want him
That's
to
it.
have a relationship with his family, you know, and that's that.
Yeah. I support whatever it takes for him to be happy and have that reason to get out of bed every morning for like the lust of life. Like I support it.
Yep.
Well, you guys gonna go skate?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it, man.
Skate
I
my
gotta go. We have a double date with my friend Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, I just went to
Oh.
her restaurant the other night.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, Tom. It was really good.
Where you going?
We're going over to her house.
Oh, wow.
My plan is to bring my laptop computer and force
show
her to
it.
watch
Show her footage of you.
For sure.
and film her reaction. So I can
I'm actually really surprised you didn't do it with Brandon.
Show him,
Show him your
thing on
special.
here.
he came and saw the show on tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I knew that was real, that Steve showed his footage, I remember we were in some hotel.
It
and
was a
like-
nightmare.
It was 3.
I'm scarred.
3 or
and
4
I've
in the
seen some
morning.
shit, man.
No, it was 3 or 4 in the morning, and he was editing this YouTube video, and he made a cut to it for like a 3-second change, and he woke me up out of a dead of sleep. He's like, "Dude, check this out." And we watched the whole video. I'm like, "What'd you do?" He's like, "Hey, no, I changed that." I'm like, "Dude, you woke me up for like a
And
4
he's
second."
sober. Imagine not sober. Dude.
Yeah, dude. All right,
Hey,
man.
shameless plug though, man. If anyone needs help, they can reach out to me and
Yeah,
my
dude.
team directly.
Hell yeah.
610-314-6747. Redemption Addiction Treatment Center.
Will you say that again? Because I rudely interrupted.
Yeah. 610-314-6747. Call me directly if you're looking for help or interested in learning more about my new treatment center, Redemption Addiction.
How much is a sponsorship?
$180 a week.
So times 4 is $720.
I do 15s. We've already established this.
Yeah, why don't you do?
Heroin ratios, $15.
So I did it last
You
time.
did. You and Steve-O
I will
did it.
sponsor one more.
Really?
One more month for somebody.
I was so bummed your show got canceled, but I was going to bring all the guys from the houses. And
Yeah.
you were going to, I had the 2 guys that you both sponsored who were still there and sober, who were going to come. And they were so stoked. They're still sober. I would love to FaceTime you at some point with them.
Let me do one more month for somebody.
That'd be amazing.
We can
God
connect me
send.
with your girl.
Yeah. That'd be really rad.
Cool.
I love you, boys. Thank you for the
Yeah,
platform.
love you.
Thank
This
you
is
for the
great.
time.
Dog. And there you have it. Dude, you included all the cameo stuff. Did you put in the actual video?
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts. That episode was nuts. And hey, man, if you're still here, you know that you are special to me. And did you hear me mention in the very beginning that the bucket list is going live? We got the trailer out there. We got the pre-sale going. You're going to get a better deal. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you. It's the same deal except if you use the promo code. What is the promo code? I think I'm making it up right now. Yeah. Promo code. Huh?
Yeah, dude. Street team.
Ooh, I wonder if we can give the street team an even better deal.
Wendy.
Let's do. I want to have multiple promo codes. Promo code Street Team. I'm gonna see if I can give the Street Team more money off. Yeah, and it's only gonna work for the first 48 hours. So you got to be like on it quick. All right, Street Team. Promo code Street Team on the checkout of the bucket list special. Oh, it's so good. I love you guys.